Ooh wee, Grand Rising guys.
Rich
We're
Rise.
we're here waiting on this Kohberger case. Um, Ended up going a little bit earlier than my notification was set off for. I was like, oh, we already have someone in the chat. It's you, Godmama. That's right. Y'all better hit that down like when you come through. Okay, so I guess we just gotta sit and wait for them to kick it off. Oh, I know. I like people that are on time, that are early. Look, the judge is ready to get this done. Ready to get this done. And I can't blame him. I cannot blame him. Get this man up out of here, y'all. Get this man up out of here, y'all. Period. And again, for the people that are coming in and don't know anything about Bryan Kohberger, he is a wannabe serial killer. Okay, he is a wannabe serial killer. And well, since we're waiting on the court, hold on. Let me run this down. Let's play this real quick so we can give people just a little something.
Scariest, most serial killer details about America's most hated suspect who committed the most heinous crime of the year,
Hey,
Bryan
Declan.
Kohberger. He's been detained and charged with gruesomely murdering 4 University of Idaho students in their sleep with a knife.
Are there any other suspects, or are you 100% certain this is your guy?
I am certain this is our guy.
First of all, look how much he looks like Ted Bundy. More than that, they both murdered young girls in sororities and both obtained their bachelor's degree in psychology from universities in Washington. It's like the true reincarnation of evil. Bryan was obsessed with crime, and he was described by everyone he knew as a very intelligent PhD candidate in criminology and criminal justice. After committing the murders, we know from his students on TikTok that he would talk about the murders in his classes. And we knew he had lovely holidays with his families and would go out to eat regularly, living amongst us as if nothing happened. He conducted a research study this year where he sent convicted criminals a questionnaire to pick the minds of murderers. He would ask questions like, why did you pick that victim over others? Or did you struggle or fight with the victims? How did you prepare for the crime before leaving your home? As if he wanted to take notes on what to do or not to do. We also learned that he would interview regular students at the university he taught at, asking them questions about how much empathy they had and how they felt that empathy. I'm about to show you a TikTok video of an unidentified man that people think is Bryan, who is describing in a lot of detail how the 2 girls were murdered, as if he has a first-hand account of how it happened.
The 2 victims were on the same bed, not side by side. One victim was found on top of the other. The reason is that the one tried to escape and was grabbed, harmed, and then shoved and fell on top of her friend.
Both girls in which he just described how they were murdered, he follows on Instagram. I'm going to show you something crazier, but before I do, make sure you follow so you keep learning what's going on in pop culture here at Pop Culture University. Bryan was known to have links to the Sigma Chi fraternity that Ethan and Xana would visit. Another unidentified man that people think is Bryan called into a podcast and described his conversations he would have with people at Sigma Chi.
You know, the one thing that every single one of them, I feel like has asked me is, if you were going to kill somebody, how would you get away with it?
Friends and family have been sending in tips about Bryan all day, often
What?
an incessant bully, putting people down.
You didn't know that part, friend? Now this
No,
is
a lot of a lot
the
of this is new for me. I haven't seen because I was trying to wait until we went to trial
to
to
really get it.
really like, yeah. And this little
Oh,
punk
okay. Well, we're
ass.
gonna break this little video down then, friend. Because yes, girl, and the reason I saved it to our channel is
Hmm.
because they so many like it was hot, so you lose pieces, right? And the way this
Mm,
guy just kind of summed up everything, and you're able to pick through it. But anyways, yes, girl, there, Bryan was a true psychopath. Amen. A
mm,
true psychopath. I don't feel no type of way for this man at all. I don't. I'm sorry. I hope he
mm.
seeks forgiveness from Jesus, because baby, I don't have it today.
For their
Not
insecurities
today.
and flaws, always wanting to let them know that he is smarter than them. Friends of it said that he would always make it clear that he is anti-LGBT and that he was a misogynist who struggled to get girls, and when they would reject him, he would not take no for an answer and keep incessantly pursuing them. If this is all true, then his victims completely make sense, and if you're someone who's a young girl who falls into this demographic, your life could have been saved by him getting caught. Because it seems like someone who would 100% want to do this again. But the most eerie thing is that when he was arrested, the first thing he asked the police was anyone else arrested? as if there's someone else who worked with him with the same mindset as him.
Rich Rise.
Okay, what's up? Salute, True. Salute. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for the like button. We appreciate that. We over here talking about white people crimes. This white man on the screen right here, he fixing to face the victims' families. And he's fixing to be held hopefully accordingly. This is what we're waiting on right here. They said court proceedings should start in about 10 minutes, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's telling us right there. Court will resume shortly. So while we're waiting on the court to resume, we're just going through some things over here. Some of the history of this young man. Again, I'm going to say allegedly, even though he took a plea, some of the details, some of the rumors around Bryan Kohberger. Hey, Will. Hi, baby. Good to see you, Will. I'm always lurking on your wifey's page. Always. So I seen the puppy was at the beach. That's the last I saw. The puppy was at the beach over there enjoying himself. Hey, Will, good to see you. Oh, you gonna listen in? Okay. Hang out with us today, True.
So I remember what I did watch was when they were doing the preliminary hearings and the motions, and his defense attorney was trying to get more time because the state evidence was so overwhelming that they didn't have enough time to really be able to go through everything, have the private detective,
right.
fact check. So it was going to take a long time. So I was always curious to see what that actual evidence that the state had, and hopefully after today we can kind of get some public access to what all the state said that because they were saying they wanted the firing squad. They were going to bring back the firing squad on him.
Idaho was going to bring back, because it's a death sentence. It's a capital punishment. What do they call that? Capital punishment state, where they can seek the death penalty. And they were talking about dusting off, oiling up some old firing squad.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were going to be bayonet style. I don't know if they were going to be sniper style. I don't know. I need to look that up. What does a firing squad death consist of? Okay. Is it just them, like I seen in the movies where you just blindfolded and they just get to firing on yourself or on your I don't know what that consists of, but yes, they were going to give it to Bryan. Okay. They weren't trying to say electric chair. They weren't trying to say by the needle,
Which is interesting that they allowed him to take a plea. If
Correct.
They had all of this overwhelming evidence and they were ready to dust off the old firing squad, why let this man take a plea to where he doesn't even really have to account for everything that he's done? And I'm curious to see what he says. Because he doesn't have to speak.
Yeah, and I want to hear what the judge is going to say, because he's already pled to, he's already said, yes, I accept this plea. And the plea deal consisted of 4 life consecutive plus 10 years or something, or plus something else, plus a few others. So he's going to be doing life pretty much. So the sentencing is just basically for the victim impacts and for the judge to just sign off on the order. But I'm curious to see if the judge is going to take a moment to speak to Bryan directly. I'm sure he's going to address the victim families, but is he going to address, give us something? And maybe you don't have to give us anything, but again, this is a court of law and it's open to the public, and that should be what it is. Yesterday, they were saying they lifted the gag order. So all the family, everybody that's been involved in this case has been under a gag order. The judge lifted that yesterday. So I'm sure in the future there will be more, because you see the documentaries are coming out here, there, everywhere. Yeah. So now maybe the 2 girls that were in the actual house can now speak out for themselves and their side or whatever. I'm not sure. But the sealed documents must remain sealed. And that doesn't make sense to me. We talked about this yesterday, Brandy, how they have been withholding, or Godmama, how they have been withholding just info from us left and right. Not just this case, but a lot of cases. And I heard it's because, they don't want copycats. They don't want to influence others to do it. I mean, if anything, it should kind of scare you to be aware, to know how true, there's real evil out here lurking.
For real.
There is real evil out here lurking. So I'm the type of person that is like, the more aware I am of how evil, the more cautious I am.
Right. And the more that I can put my children up on game, right? Like there's a man or a woman out here that X, Y, and Z. So, be mindful of that. But when you're moving around in the blind, it's kind of hard to be mindful. Because I said that sometime last year, like, where did all the serial killers go?
Right here.
I know they just didn't leave. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's not, was it just like, okay, we're not going to make serial killers anymore past the 90s?
Right. And I don't know why gang killing isn't considered a form of serial killing, because y'all just you're a habitual. You know what I'm saying? There's some gang members out there that are to me considered a serial killer.
Well, that's what the
then you are a serial killer.
Absolutely, that's what the crime, the like people who do like profiling and all of that, they do consider high level gang members to be serial. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're still around. But see this case right here, Ted Bundy. I mean, I was going back reviewing some of his stuff, and I mean, they let the public know everything. Every detail. I mean, down to, because Ted Bundy also did a raping and brutal attack and killed 2 women in a sorority house in Florida. In Florida is where Ted Bundy had done his sorority house killings. So, but they told us all the details, and then they had the victim up there just, spilling all the tea. She's like, and I and this, that, and the other. And then she moved back into the sorority house. That sorority house is still standing. They don't the one in Idaho. What's up, Bryan?
Idaho. Hey, Roy. Rich Rise.
We got a few more minutes.
We've been good, Roy. We've been good.
We got a few more
Actually, funny that you popped in, because you were in a conversation the other day because we've been doing some community work, and we said Roy would be proud.
Yes, Roy.
Roy would be proud.
Out here, we still, just because we haven't gone live, we are still concerned citizens, and we have stepped our game up. And we'll be back soon enough to share good joy and continue good deeds. But yes, Roy, we laughed and giggled and said, isn't that one of the things Roy used to tell us?
Why are you up here talking about it?
Community lurker. What you doing in your own community, lurker? Putting them boots on the ground, okay?
Putting them boots on the ground.
Period. Period. But yes, back to this Kohberger, this Ted Bundy wannabe, this loser. You know who really got Bryan Kohberger caught up? The school system. How are you a criminal justice major? How are you a criminal justice teacher assistant? And you still can't get it right. The school system strikes again. Again. That's who really got him caught up. Was the school system. If they would have taught him the right way, He thought he was Annalise Keaton for a minute, didn't he? How to get away with murder. No, you fucking lying.
He thought, okay, he thought he could get away with it.
He did. Not today, Satan. And he, you know what? I was really kind of like you, interested to see how the trial was going to play out because Bryan was so adamant. He was even telling the detectives, let me get into some of my notes over here for y'all. He was even telling the detectives, first of all, no, let's back this train up just a little bit, okay? Ted Bundy was, I'm going to use allegedly again, was allegedly found in Bryan's notes in his phone. He had books about Ted Bundy. So there was definitely, he was like a fan,
Oh, so he
basically.
was obsessed. He was a fangirl.
He was, yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
To the point where they
What?
both have degrees out of Washington. One went to University of Washington. The other one went to State of Washington, Washington State. Ted Bundy had also killed people in Idaho, girl.
What?
Yes, in Boise, Idaho. Girl. So this man really was a wannabe. A wannabe to a T.
So he was trying to be a copycat for real, for real.
Yes.
But he said he could do it better.
Right. He thought he could. Ciao boo. Ciao boo. Also with Bryan Kohberger, again, allegedly, I told y'all there was something about his past. He's an ex-heroin user, and he used to rob houses to support his habit. And he lived in a well-to-do neighborhood, so he was hitting very nice homes.
Right.
So they said that's where he kind of began the stalking fetish type grew in him, allegedly. Also, they were saying that I don't know if he's an incel, but some people were saying he's an incel. There's no ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend that has spoke out and said anything about Bryan Kohberger. So there's no trace of him having a dating life. Okay.
Well, look at him, friend. He weird as hell looking. Okay. He looks like he would tie your ass up and not in a good way. Okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of attracted to weirdos, so.
I don't know. You know, I like a little bit of weird, baby, but that weird. Mm,
Oh,
mm.
Lord. Yeah. So, but he's had complaints from female students while he was a teacher assistant, and it almost jeopardized his position as teacher assistant. That's how many complaints had come in.
Dang.
Yes. Where if he would ask a girl out or, try and find her interest, just trying to holler at somebody. And she would, turn him down and he would get angry, like treat her like crap the next time. Like, you know what I mean? He would hold a grudge.
Yeah.
So, and they got complaints.
Well, they
from that.
ain't that serial killer men 101? They get rejected from women. Every advancement they get rejected, and it breeds a sociopathic killer.
Yes, because the house that he did it to, he didn't know the boyfriend was going to be there. Now, mind you, they said it was like a typical sorority house, people coming in and out, people's boyfriends,
Right.
people's besties, pretty active house. But supposedly Kohberger, it was shown on the neighbor's ring cam where he was basically stalking and da-da-da-da-da. He didn't know they ordered DoorDash. Okay. So he saw the DoorDash guy come. He saw the DoorDash guy leave. He comes and makes another block. But he knew that the girls it was a sorority house. He knew it was a bunch of females in there. So that's one of the reasons he targeted it. And if it weren't for the boyfriend that got there, I guess that having to kill the boyfriend, stab the boyfriend multiple times, tired him out to where he sat down, left more evidence, and then left. You know what I mean?
Because at one point I remember hearing something about there was like an accent chair or something in the corner, and they have DNA impression of someone sitting in the chair.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, dang, this sounds like an episode of Criminal Minds.
Yes.
What is happening?
And Bryan tried to throw off the detectives when it's starting.
Yay. Y'all get y'all's coffee warmed back up and your Danishes, okay? Because we get into it. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Need 5 minutes?
Not they said they needed. He said you need 5 minutes.
5 more minutes. Well, we don't know what's going on. Again, it's going to be a victim impact statements and of that nature. So this is their last time to, this is their official document going in the, you know what I mean, into the paperwork. So if they need a little bit of time for the family, I'm all for it. Give the family time.
Yes,
But
because
yeah.
this is going to be difficult for them.
Mm-hmm. This happened in 2022, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So the family has been waiting for their moment. The dad, one of the dads has already spoke out publicly, and he spoke against the prosecution. One of the dads was not happy with the plea agreement. He felt it was a chicken shit way to let him out. I mean, it sounded like the dad was ready for the firing squad and he wanted to be one of the people firing. Okay.
I mean, I don't blame you. Okay.
I don't either. I mean, but that's the tone he was setting.
Mm-hmm.
The tone he was setting.
Which, I mean, okay, yes, I would. It's like a smack in the face almost. Like this man committed a heinous crime, but you're just gonna let him sign a paper and move on. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It would be very hard for me to hold composure, and compassion and space for Bryan today.
Yes.
Very hard.
Yes, very hard.
Like I will have to go talk to. I would have to go talk to my priest, pastor, rabbi, monk, somebody afterwards.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we're back. We're back, family. Y'all make sure you
this
hit
is
the down like.
CR01243165, State of Idaho versus Bryan Kohberger. Defendant is present in custody with counsel, Ms. Taylor, Ms. Massoth, Ms. Barlow. The state is represented by Mr. Thompson, Ms. Jennings, Mr. Hurwitz, Mr. Nye, and Ms. Allen. This is the time set for sentencing in this case. The defendant previously entered a plea of guilty to 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary. In exchange, the parties stipulated to recommend a sentence consisting of, on burglary, 10 years fixed, on each of the 4 counts of first-degree murder, life fixed. The parties waived pre-sentence investigation. To my understanding, neither party submitted a sentencing memorandum or other materials for the court. Court is familiar with the file and the evidence submitted previously by the parties as it has reviewed them throughout the case and in anticipation of trial. Is there any legal cause why sentence should not be imposed at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Does the state, before impact statements and arguments, wish to present evidence today?
Your Honor, the state does not intend to present evidence in a documentary sense. We have provided the court through the clerk with photographs that we would like to use during the course of our sentencing argument.
Sure. All right.
Thank you.
But no testimony other than impact statements?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. So with that, let's start with then impact statements.
Ms. Jennings will be introducing
and my understanding, just so I'm clear, I indicated through the trial court administrator that we need to see if any of the victims wish to have the camera not running and audio only. And my understanding is all of them indicated they are fine with the video. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
All right, very well. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the first, and we're taking these in the order, victim impact statements in the order that the charges were listed in the indictment. The first charge being burglary. So we will have Bethany Funka's statement, and she has asked that her friend Emily Allant read that statement.
All right, any objection to that? No. All right, very well.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll be speaking on behalf of Bethany, and so, yeah, here it reads. My name is Bethany Funk, and I was roommates with Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. I not only lost some of my best friends, but I also lost a sister. Never in a million years would I have thought that something like this would have happened to my closest friends. I thought that we were going to wake up and go upstairs, see them and tell them how they had scared us and that they were going to tease us about how we are constantly scaredy cats. I make jokes about it as we would go to Taco Bell like always. But sadly, that is not what happened and what turned out to be my worst nightmare. When I first woke up that morning, I had no idea what happened. I woke up around 7 with a terrible toothache. So I called my dad, who is a dentist, and he asked what I should do. He told me to take Advil, so I did, and I went back to sleep. I was still out of it and still didn't know what happened. If I had known, I of course would have called 911 right away. I still carry so much regret and guilt for not knowing what had happened and not calling right away, even though I understand it wouldn't have changed anything, not even if the paramedics had been right outside the door. I was so frantic that morning and scared to death, not knowing what had happened. And when I made the 911 call, I couldn't even get out the words. And from then on, I don't remember a thing. It was like my brain wiped that whole memory. That was the worst day of my life. And I know it always will be. While I was still in shock, trying to process the fact that my friends were truly gone, I had been attacked by the public. I was grieving, numb, and unsure of what had happened was even real. And at the same time, I was getting flooded with death threats and hateful messages from people who did not know me at all or know the dynamic of our friendship. Social media made it so much worse, and strangers made up stories to entertain themselves. The media harassed not just me, but also my family. People showed up at our house. They called my phone, my parents' phones, other family members' phones, and we were chased while I was still trying to survive emotionally and grieve the loss of my friends. I hated and still hate that they are gone, but for some reason, I am still here and I got to live. I still think about this every day. Why me? Why did I get to live and not them? For the longest time, I could not even look at their families without feeling sick with guilt. I did not know what to say or what to do. I was terrified that my presence just made their pain worse, and I was still here when their kid, their siblings, and their friends, their loved ones should have been here instead. After everything happened, I was afraid to go into my own backyard or alone in my house. I was scared that the person who did this would come for me next. I was always scared that the media would try to catch me at any moment of any day, even when I was just walking around my house. I made my parents close all the blinds during the day so no one could see me even in the slightest chance. I barely left the house, and when I did, I made sure I was never alone. I slept in my parents' room for almost a year. I made them double lock every door, set an alarm, and still check everywhere in the room just in case someone was hiding. And I still check my room every night before, and I double lock it. I have not slept through a single night since this happened. I constantly wake up in panics, terrified. Someone is breaking in, or someone is here to hurt me, or I'm about to lose someone else that I love. The fear never really leaves. For a long time, I could barely get out of bed, but one day I realized I have to live for them. They did not get the chance to keep living, but I do, and I will not take that for granted. So now every day I remind myself to live for them, and everything I do it with them in mind. I am still scared to go out in public, but I force myself to do things because I know that they would want me to keep living my life to the fullest. I am beyond blessed to still be here and I refuse to take that for granted when they did not get a chance. Our house was not just a house, it was a home. It was where we laughed till we couldn't breathe, make meals, did crafts, binge watch reality shows, played games, and spent lazy days on the couch. It was movie nights, wine nights, morning debriefs, pranks, hot chocolate, cookies, and warmth. I would cherish those memories forever, and I will not let what happened erase how special our home was or how much those memories meant to me. Now, I would like to share some bits and pieces of who they were as people and some of the memories that we shared. One of my favorite memories was Halloween, and we all went to Sigma Chi. But instead of partying, we just sat in an apartment, talking and laughing all night long. I do not think I've ever laughed that hard in my life. We did not care about the party, we were just happy to be with each other. Xana was 1 in a million. She was the life of the party. But she was also the kindest and funniest person I knew. Everyone loved her because she made everyone feel so loved. She was just someone you always wanted to be around, no matter the circumstance. One of my favorite days with Xana was when she laid on the couch, when we laid on the couch together all day watching movies and snacking. Or when she, Maddie, and I would go and get margaritas, chips, and salsa. She would also light up a room with her presence alone. Kaylee had the most beautiful, radiant smile, and she was so kind, but also one of the funniest people I've ever known. She loved playing little pranks, and she always had us laughing so hard that we could not breathe. She was so full of energy and life. I really believe that she could have ruled the world if she wanted to, and she would have been America's sweetheart. Ethan was the sweetest, most genuine guy. He was always smiling and always making other people smile too. Ethan was the kind of person you wanted around. He was so kind and easy to talk to and just so fun. And the way he cared for Xana was truly something to admire. And really was proof that storybook love and true romances really do exist. It was not only obvious to me, but everyone that was around Ethan and Xana that they were absolute soulmates. Maddie was not only one of my best friends, but she was the older sister I would have always wanted. There was no one I looked up to or admired more than Maddie. She was truly a ray of sunshine, and everyone was drawn to her. She was so kind, loving, funny, fun, and passionate. She had the sweetest soul and wanted nothing but the best for everyone, and to love and show love to everyone. She took me under her wing and always made me feel so safe and included, and above all, loved and valued. She never failed to make me laugh or put a smile on my face. Still to this day, I am beyond grateful that she chose me to be her sorority little, and I thank God every day that I not only got to know her, but had her as one of my best friends. Honestly, I cannot pinpoint one favorite memory with Maddie because I have so many, and this would be a very long read if I did. But if some little memories with her that I cherish is when the two of us made a nice dinner and split some wine, or when we would binge watch Jersey Shore or Summer House. When we came up with a whole dance routine on Halloween and danced and sang all night, like no one was watching. All the late night walks home from going out, and just little shopping trips and so much more. I am beyond blessed that I had the chance to know each and every one of them. They changed my life in ways I would have never put into words. I hope that they are remembered for who they are, not what happened to them, because who they are were so beautiful, and they deserve to be remembered in the highest way. My heart breaks every time I go to text one of them or how badly I wish I could see and hang out with them. And then I remember I cannot. I will never be able to again. But I still talk to them in my prayers every single night, and I always will. I wish more than anything I could hug them one last time. And I wish I could tell them how much I love them. And even though I cannot, I still tell them every night. I will keep living for them as long as I am lucky enough to still be here. And they were all truly one of a kind. And they will be in our hearts forever and always.
Thank you. And please convey to Bethany my appreciation for her courage, and I hope that she heals.
Next is Dylan Mortensen. We're asking for some accommodations for Ms. Mortensen and that she be allowed to sit in my seat.
Sure.
The grimacing look on his face, boy. I tried to zoom in for y'all, but baby.
Dylan,
He
just take your
guilty,
time,
guilty.
right?
Thank you, Your Honor. What happened that night changed everything.
Yeah, he almost looks satisfied, like he's smirking or trying to hold a smirk. If y'all are on your cellular device, I need y'all to zoom in to about a 2.6, okay? And watch this man.
Oh, he's been smirking the whole time.
What a freakazoid. Like he's enjoying this.
Mm-hmm. He took away how they made everyone feel safe, loved, and full of joy. He took away the ability for me to tell him that I love him and that I'm so proud of them. He took away who they were becoming and the futures they were going to have. He took away birthdays, graduations, celebrations, and all the memories that we were supposed to make. All of it is gone. And all the people who love them are just left to carry that weight forever. He didn't just take them from the world. He took them from me, my friends, my people who felt like my home, the people I looked up to and adored more than anyone. He took away my ability to trust the world around me. What he did shattered me in places I didn't know could break. I was barely 19 when he did this. We had just celebrated my birthday at the end of September. I should have been figuring out who I was. I should have been having the college experience and starting to establish my future. Instead, I was forced to learn how to survive the unimaginable. I couldn't be alone. I had to sleep in my mom's bed because I was too terrified to close my eyes. Terrified that if I blinked, someone might be there. I made escape plans everywhere I went. If something happens, how do I get out? What can I use to defend myself? Who can help? And then there are the panic attacks. The kind that slam into me like a tsunami out of nowhere. I can't breathe. I can't think. I can't stop shaking. All I can do is scream because the emotional pain and the grief is too much to handle. My chest feels like it's caving in. Sometimes I drop to the floor with my heart racing, convinced something is very wrong. It's far beyond anxiety. It's my body reliving everything over and over again. My nervous system never got the message that it is over, and it won't let me forget what he did to them. People call me strong. They say I'm a survivor, but they don't see what my new reality looks like. They don't see the panic attacks, the hypervigilance, the exhaustion, the way I scan every room I enter, the way I flinch at sudden sounds. They don't know how heavy it is to carry so much pain and still be expected to keep going, and that's because of him. He stole parts of me I may never get back. He took the version of me who didn't constantly ask, what if it happens again? What if next time I don't survive? He may have shattered parts of me, but I'm still putting myself back together. Piece by piece, I'm learning how to live in this new version of life. It is not easy. It hurts, but I'm still trying. Still trying, and I'm not trying just for me. I'm trying for them, my friends. About a year ago, I had a dream about them. I got to say goodbye. I told them I won't be able to see you again, so I need to tell you goodbye. They all kept asking why, and all I could say was, I can't tell you, but I have to. When I woke up, I felt shattered and heartbroken, but also strangely grateful. Like maybe in some way that dream gave us the goodbye we never got. Still, no dream can replace them, and no goodbye will ever feel finished. He is a hollow vessel, something less than human. A body without empathy, without remorse. He chose destruction. He chose evil. He feels nothing. He tried to take everything from me. My friends, my safety, my identity, my future. He took their lives, but I will continue trying to be like them, to make them proud. Living is how I honor them. Speaking today is to help me find some sort of justice for them. And I will never let him take that from me. He may have taken so much from me, but he will never get to take my voice. He will never take the memories I had with them. He will never erase the love we shared, the laughs we had, or the way they made me feel seen and whole. Those things are mine. They are sacred, and he will never touch them. I get to feel sadness. I get to feel rage. I get to feel joy even when it's hard. I get to feel love even when it hurts. I get to live. And while I will still live with this pain, at least I get to live my life. He will stay here, empty, forgotten, and powerless.
Dylan, thank you so much for your courage. I appreciate it.
Next, we have members from the Madison Mogan family. First would be Scott Laramie, Madison Mogan's stepfather. Standing by him is Karen Laramie, Madison's mother.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Scott Laramie. I'm Maddie Mogan's stepfather and the husband of Maddie's mother, Karen Laramie. I will read this victim impact statement on behalf of Karen and myself. Maddie was our gift of life, our purpose, and our hope. Maddie quickly became Karen's joy, identity, and purpose in life. I joined Maddie's life when she was 2.5 years old. The experience transformed me into a life of joy, love, and family. Maddie was bright, beautiful, kind, empathic. She listened carefully to others and was observant, seeing and caring about the hearts and the minds of all she encountered. She loved music and music festivals. She had a wonderful sense of humor. She excelled in school. She was an easy child to raise, almost never requiring discipline, and almost always giving us parental joy. One time, One time Karen remembers disciplining Maddie as a little girl. Maddie responded, "You broke my heart," which of course melted ours. She had a keen wit, even at that young age. As she transitioned into teenage years, she prioritized us and extended family over many of the distractions that capture teenagers. She showered us with her presence and love at family events, barbecues, picnics, birthdays, holidays, and others. She spent countless hours with her papa, her uncle David, Aunt Nadine, and her other close family and friends. This world was a better place with her in it. As she reached adulthood, Maddie applied her studies to be a marketing professional, entering into an internship at Payne West, and started planning her professional future. As with all things, she involved Karen and myself in the joy of her journey. As she transitioned into womanhood, Karen and I continued to be astounded at this wonderful and accomplished person we had created. All parents dream of their children accomplishing more than them. We realized this dream, all we had not become, she was becoming. Karen and I are ordinary people, but we lived extraordinary lives because we had Maddie. Maddie was taken senselessly and brutally in a sudden act of evil. She was taken along with the young, promising, and bright lives of Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. First, we felt disbelief. Next, we felt disorientation. Then we felt grief overcome us. Our grief is compounded even more for the Goncalves, Kernodle, and Chapin families. We speak of hope and healing, and we do have hope and some healing. But the vast emotional wound will never fully heal. Since Maddie's loss, there's emptiness in our hearts, home, and family, an endless void. After losing her mother in a car crash, Karen took years to grieve and recover. The feeling that her life with Maddie and N.A.B was perfect helped her to start to heal. Now, this is no longer perfect. After Maddie's loss, Karen felt like she was spinning out emotionally collapsing into anxiety and depression. She sometimes asks, "How am I supposed to go on when I've lost my favorite person in the world?" I felt the same, and we continue to struggle. The loss of Maddie has impacted so many beyond our family. Her second family is her sorority sisters who grieve alongside us. She has so many close friends who suffer from her loss. We will continue to be her loss will continue to be felt by the Vandal community, including Vandal Solutions on campus, where she volunteered her time for others. It helps us to know Maddie is in heaven now, freed from the trials of this earth. We, however, continue to live on without the grace and support of her presence. We will grow old without our only child, our bright, beautiful friend and daughter. In the end, there are no words that can accurately capture the devastation of losing Maddie. We will endure and we will go on, For Maddie, we will not let our grief consume us. For Maddie, we will continue to love and care for our family and friends, including the families of Kaylee, Santa, and Ethan. We will remain united with them. We can only hope that others out there suffering similar losses can look to us and see that we can overcome hatred, darkness, and evil. We know the law allows us to comment on the defendant and his sentence. As for his sentence, we support the plea agreement. Society needs to be protected against this evil. As for the defendant, we will not waste words, nor will we fall into hatred and bitterness.
I know that's right.
Evil has many faces, and we now know this, but evil does not deserve our time and attention. We are done being victims. We are taking back our lives. We will turn our time, talents, and attention to hope, healing, and helping others and to the future. We invite all those who have suffered with us on this to join us in our journey. We can make this world a better place. We can move on from tragedy. Adversity will visit us, evil will visit us, but we will overcome. We can and will endure. Karen and I express our gratitude to Your Honor and to the prosecution team for allowing us the opportunity to make this statement. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your courage, and I am so sorry for your loss. God bless
Your Honor.
Who in here cutting onions, child? Cause
Baby.
please stop it. I'm over here crying like crazy. He said I won't even give him the satisfaction. I hope the
Your
judge
Honor,
is watching
this
Bryan.
is Leander James,
Right.
attorney for the Mogan family and victim advocate. He'll be reading a statement for Karen Laramie.
May it please the court, counsel. My name is Leander James. I am the pro bono counsel for Karen and Scott Laramie. Karen has asked me to read this statement into the record. I thank my husband, Scott, for his statement, his courage, and his unending love and support during this dark time. While words are inadequate to capture the impact of this horrific crime on our family, he expressed it as best anyone could. For Maddie's sake, I will add my supplement statement that incorporates additional impact in the context of my extended family. I am grateful to Maddie's great uncle, Bryan Caulfield, for assisting me with the difficult task of putting our pain into words. For me and my extended family, Maddie was our hope and our light. Her beauty, both outside and in, shone its light upon everyone with whom she came in contact. Her beauty, she carried that hope and light into the future for our entire family. We have memories of our Maddie and grief and pain at her being taken from our presence. Any one of us would have given our own light to have been outshone by hers. We now look to our Creator to know that her light continues where we look to see her in His presence. Those who commit evil for their own twisted gains and purposes truly defile the efforts and sacrifices of mothers, fathers, families, teachers, clergy, public servants, service members, and all those who commit themselves to the greater good, freedoms, and the future light of our nation. Condemnation falls heavily upon those who squandered the lives of our future hopes and dreams. Some may offer forgiveness for what the defendant has done. However, we cannot at this time, or perhaps ever, nor will we ask for mercy for what he has done.
Period.
His acts are too heinous. The agony and grief he has caused, too great. But we will waste no further words or thoughts on him. For Maddie's sake, we will move on. We will do our best to carry Maddie's light into this world and make it a better place. I thank the court and the prosecution for allowing me the opportunity to make my statement. And I thank all those who have and will support my family and the families of Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Laramie. Appreciate it.
Mm.
He said, go to God for forgiveness, not me. Okay. Because I ain't got it for you,
Next
baby.
is Ben Mogan, the father of Maddie Mogan.
Yes, of course.
Actually, Your Honor, it'll be Kim Cheeley, the grandmother of Maddie Mogan.
Uh-oh, not grandma. Oh my goodness.
My name is Kim Cheeley. I was Maddie Mogan's paternal grandmother, as Ben Mogan, her father, is my son. I'm here today with my sister Lori Cheeley, Maddie's great aunt, and my son Ben Mogan, and my daughter-in-law Corey Hatrock. I'd like to begin by thanking a number of people involved in bringing this case to closure. In my daughter's words, the plea deal the prosecution team reached this month is one that punishes the perpetrator of this horrendous crime, protects the public from further harm, and allows all of us who knew and loved these kids the time to grieve without the anxiety of the long and gruesome trial, the years of appeals, and potential for mistrials along the way. My family and I are so grateful to Bill Thompson and his prosecution team for their dedication and painstaking work that forced the perpetrator to admit his guilt. We want to thank the Idaho State Police, the Moscow Police Department, the FBI, and Judge Hippler. We'd also like to thank the University of Idaho officials who have treated the families of the victims with such dignity and kindness, and who have honored the 4 victims beautifully. Maddie was my first grandchild, so when she was born, all her grandparents had the distinct pleasure of deciding what we'd like to be called. I chose Nana, pretty original. But when Maddie was about a year and a half old, her papa, Ben's dad, and I were planning to visit the new little family in Oregon. Maddie didn't have an extensive vocabulary at the time, but for some unknown reason, she called bananas ba-deedle-deedles. When Karen and Ben told her Nana was coming to visit, she figured, I say deedle-deedle for that word. So I became deedle-deedle, shortened to Deedle when she was about 6 or 7, and I was Deedle all her life. I don't think her stepdad, Scotty, ever knew my given name was Kim. Maddie's and my birthdays were one day apart, and a couple years before she was killed, she gave me this necklace with Deedle and Maddie engraved on it, and I added an angel wing, and it's one of my treasured possessions. I also got an angel wing tattoo. Never thought I'd see the day, but along with many members of our family, replicating the one that Maddie and her sorority sisters had, I wanted mine where I could see and touch it often. From preschool through grade school, I stopped teaching piano lessons early on Wednesdays and picked Maddie up for bubble baths, brownies, and books. It was our special time together, and she went home those nights in her jammies with a pan of warm brownies for her family. Although Karen and Scotty raised Maddie and did such a lovely job of parenting, We Mogans were lucky to have her for holidays and many other family gatherings. We'll always have our treasured memories of Maddie growing up in our big, extended, cooperative family. And I thank Karen and Scotty Laramie for being so generous and open and sharing Maddie with her Mogan side of the family. When the 4 kids were murdered, the foundation fell out of our world. Initially, the fear was truly debilitating. The first 6 weeks were excruciating. Despite the vigils, memorials, candlelight gatherings of students, friends, family, community members. After the arrest in the past 2.5 years, my family has lived with grief, with the effects of traumatic grief, of which I was blissfully unaware before all of this. I now have a stack of books on grief. I've attended grief classes at hospice. I've tried EMDR, a technique that helps replace disturbing visions with something more comforting. My son, Ben, his 2 sisters, Maddie's aunts, and I have all experienced depression and anxiety and sleep disturbance, requiring medical intervention at times. We've all sought counseling off and on. The struggle with media attention was extremely difficult, especially for Ben. No one should live through the violent murder of one's child. Some days it's beyond me how the parents of these kids are still upright. I'm thankful for the strong families and communities that are supporting the survivors. At the time, I could think of only 2 blessings surrounding the horrific murders. One was that Ben was living with my partner Tom and me at the time, and that we could support each other emotionally through it all. Sadly, Tom died a year ago of a rare brain cancer, and he won't be here to see justice served. He was our family's rock, and we all miss him every day. A second blessing is that my mother died of COVID several months before the kids were killed, and she didn't have to live through the horror. It was difficult to identify blessings. So we've all lost our dear child and a future with her. I ache for the loss of the dreams that she and her true love, Jake, held. And my heart goes out to Karen and Scotty and your side of Maddie's family. You've had more than your share of loss. My heart aches for the kids' roommates and the families of the other victims, and also the family of the perpetrator.
Leave it to Granny, child. Leave it to
Going
Granny.
forward,
child.
we Mogans are choosing to put our energy and focus into honoring Maddie's too short life and sweet spirit by celebrating Maddie May Day, which my 2 daughters established. On May 25th each year, Maddie's birthday, we encourage folks to do random acts of kindness in Maddie's name. In my daughter Katie's words, may we all protect our peace in whatever way possible, unite in community, and focus on joy. Please do an act in kindness in Maddie's honor during this week, so a glimmer of Maddie's light may live on. Thank you.
Thank you, and appreciate your courage, and bless you and your family.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I hope y'all ain't getting wet down there, because baby.
Now it's Ben Mogan, Maddie Mogan's father.
Oh.
I mean,
Hey, C. Wilson. Hey, Stacy.
Yes. Hey, ladies. Hey, everyone. Thank y'all for being here. This man is sick.
Sick.
Benjamin Mogan. I'm Maddie's dad. And first, I just want to say thanks to all the people that helped bring this all to a close. I know it's not the resolution that everyone wanted, but I think that that everyone worked so hard, and we really appreciate all their efforts. It was such a hard thing to go through for everybody. Maddie was my only child that I ever had. She's the only great thing I ever really did, and the only thing I was really ever proud of. And I thought we would have the rest of our lives together to be together and know each other, and I took for granted the times she was in college, and I thought, oh well, we'll have the rest of our lives to just do all the stuff that we're supposed to do, and she was just about done. She actually earned all of her credits for her college degree, and Karen and Scotty and I got to go and get her diploma that she actually earned, and she deserved every bit of that. And but I thought that that was going to be just the beginning of a long life together, and we never got that. Karen and Scotty did such a great job raising her after Karen and I split up, and I'm so thankful for Scotty and the role that he played in her life when I wasn't able to. But we got to spend a lot of great times together, Maddie and I. She was my favorite person to go to a concert with. We got to see some fun shows together, and I told her, if there's ever a show that you want to go to, let me know, and I'll get you tickets for you and your friend, or if we want to go together, we'll make it happen. And my favorite memory with her was when the Mac Miller show sold out here in Spokane, and everyone wanted tickets, no one could get them, and they, on the last day before the show, they did a radio thing, and I got 4 meet and greet tickets for Maddie and her friends, and me to go and see the show, and that was her favorite artist at the time, was Mac Miller, and he's gone now too, and my little cousin Zach drove us all there that night, and he's gone too, tragically. And anyway, the last thing that she ever wrote to me was this Father's Day card, and I'm so glad I still have it. I'm just going to read what she said. It says, "Happy Father's Day. I hope you have the best day. I can't wait till we can hang out again soon. I'll be in Coeur d'Alene, 624 to 74. Hopefully we can find a time then. I love your birthday card that you sent me, by the way. Maybe we can see a concert sometime soon. I'd love to see the gorge when it's not so smoky out. I hope you're doing well. I'm proud of how far you've come. Thank you for always encouraging me to do my best. Love you lots and lots. Love, Maddie May." She did encourage me to not just to do my best, but to live on. I went through a lot of issues with addiction and with substance abuse, and when I wasn't wanting to live anymore, she was what would keep me from just not caring anymore, and knowing that she was out there and that she was just such a beautiful person kept me alive a lot of rough moments, and I'm so glad that she was able to meet Jake. He was the only one that actually ever got to take her to the gorge. They went and saw Watershed together, and yeah, they had a heck of a time. I'm just glad she got to. That's a really special place for me, and she always wanted to work out there with me in the summer sometime. She never got to, but at least she got to see it once with Jake. He was such a great guy. He is such a great guy. And I really wanted to see what a future with them would have looked like. I'll never be able to replace her. I wrote a bunch of stuff. I just don't know what to say right now. I just miss her so much, and I just love her more than anything. And this shouldn't have happened. And a death sentence is one thing. You know when it's going to happen, and it's going to be all gentle and stuff. But life without parole, with a building full of people that all just want you to not be around anymore, winking at every morning, not knowing if that's the day they're going to pull your card. I mean, that's
period
sentence either. So I don't know. I just love you, Maddie.
Come on, Papa.
Dad, tweak out, Daddy.
Thank you so much.
Listen, he was about to lose it at the end there.
Man, he hit me hard. Damn.
Your Honor, next would be members from the Kaylee Gonsalves family. First will be her father, Steve Gonsalves.
Today, we are here to finish what you started. Today, you've lost control.
Ooh.
He moved
Today,
over.
we are here to prove to the world that you picked the wrong
So
parents.
yes. Come on, sir, get him.
The wrong state, the wrong police officers, the wrong community. You tried to break our community apart. You tried to plant fear. You tried to divide us. You failed. Instead, your actions have united everyone in their disgust for you. I just learned from these lead investigators, to their shock, they worked in an investigation and actually worked with Pennsylvania police officers and the federal FBI. You united everyone. Everyone was united after you. None of us are divided. We are united in our disgust and our love for these children. Today, you have no name. Because when this all started, we all came together and we said, let's stop even talking about his name and just use initials. So even the media just calls you BK. That's all you are. Looking back when the police officers knocked on my door, told me what happened to my child, told me what happened to Maddie Mae, I don't think he was even out of the driveway before my kids turned around, looked at me and said, what do we do, Dad? I told them, you get to work. You get your ass to work. And we started calling, we started texting, we started emailing. And you know what? Within hours, we had your white car on the camera. We knew from the very beginning we had you. Police officers tell us within minutes, They had your DNA, like a calling card. You were that careless, that foolish, that stupid. Master degree, you're a joke. Complete joke.
I love it. I love it.
But we took this disaster and we did what we could. We put everything online. We took our kids, we took our images, we took everything that they did, their videos, their photos, the girls' pranks, Ethan singing. We put it out there, we shared it with the world. And the world united. And all they ended up, when they talked about this case, is they talked about Kaylee Jade, Maddie Mae, Xana, and Ethan. Everything what these people meant to us, a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, we shared that with our community. Then we shared it with our state. We shared it with the country, and eventually we shared it with the world. The world's watching because of the kids, not because of you. Nobody cares about you. You're not worth the time, the effort to be remembered. In time, you will be nothing but two initials forgotten to the wind. No visitors, nothing more than initials on an otherwise unmarked tombstone. From this moment, we've all started. From this moment, we will forget you. We want to all leave in closing. One last thing. You picked the wrong family, and we're laughing at you on your trip to the pen. That will be today or tomorrow. I'll close with God bless all the men and women that worked on this case and all the hard work that you guys did. You guys allowed us to grieve and allowed us to get through this. The amount of work that you guys put together and the way that you guys put it together was beautiful. There was hard times to be expected, but thank you all. God bless.
Thank you.
Judge, you didn't say no
Next
purge
is
for him?
Steven Gonzalez, Kaylee's brother.
He said a master degree. You're a fucking idiot. I'm hollering.
Oh, they got to turn it. See, he turned it so he could.
Olivia Gonzalez.
He sure did. He said, I'm about to look you in your face. You better.
Hello,
Wait,
I'd like
that-
to start by thanking the court for allowing me the time and
Hey,
opportunity to
James.
speak today. My name is Olivia, and I'm the big sister of Kaylee Gonzalez, and I was blessed to love Madison Mogan as a sister too. I'm not here today to speak in grief. I'm here to speak in truth. Because the truth is, my sister Kaylee and her best friend Maddie were not yours to take. They were not yours to study, to stalk, or to silence. They were two pieces of a whole, the perfect yin and yang. They are everything that you could never be. Loved, accepted, vibrant, accomplished, brave, and powerful. Because the truth about Kaylee and Maddie is they would have been kind to you. If you had approached them in their everyday lives, they would have given you directions, thanked you for the compliment, or awkwardly giggled to make your own words less uncomfortable for you. In a world that rejected you, they would have shown mercy. Because the truth is, I'm angry. Every day I'm angry. I'm left shouting at the inside of my own head everything I wish I could say to you. The truth about me is when I heard the news, I didn't cry. I listened for them. I promised them I would, that I would fight for them, that I would show up no matter what it cost me. I swore I'd never let them feel alone. Because you see, I've always been their heavyweight. I've always been the one to fight the battles they didn't feel ready to fight themselves. All it ever took was a call, and they knew I would handle it for them, no matter the time, no matter the cost. They could wave their white flag because they knew I would never back down, not for them, and not even death could change that. Somewhere along the line, I started to think about what I would say to them if I was given just one last chance. If I could gather enough heartbreak or love or sacrifice or whatever it took to get just one message across, what would I say? Throughout this entire process, I've written my feelings down at every moment, my wishes, my love, my denial, my anger. And as one final act of love, I'd planned to read these thoughts, even jarring and discombobulating and not even making sense. Because for me, that was true love. As bare and as naked as it could be, not laced in pretty words or dressed for the occasion, but written through bleary eyes at 2 a.m. with clenched fists, angry at this reality. My true final act of love was to continue on without them, for them. That dream to read aloud my love to them, to bring meaning through pain, was the latest blow in realizing you don't deserve it. And Kaylee and Maddie don't need it. Kaylee and Maddie have always known my love, and they would never ask me to prove it by further victimizing myself to a defendant who has shown no guilt, no remorse, no apprehension. They would say to me, "Why would you give the satisfaction of showing vulnerability now? You promised you would never back down." And for that clarity, I'm thankful. I won't stand here and give you what you want. I won't offer you tears. I won't offer you trembling. Disappointments like you thrive on pain, on fear, and on the illusion of power. And I won't feed your beast. Instead, I will call you what you are: sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows? Why November 13th? Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow? Where is the murder weapon, the clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee? What were Kaylee's last words? Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt when you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once, after stalking them there for months? If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you always feared? Nothing. If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty. You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else. Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others. You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin. Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so. All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is
Now
a
she up
name
there
for your condition,
dragging.
though.
Come
Your
on,
inflated
sis.
ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe. You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic. You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow. You are not profound. You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. Don't ever get it twisted again. No one is scared of you today. No one is intimidated by you. No one is impressed by you. No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps. You spent months preparing, and still all it took was my sister in a sheath. You work so hard to seem dangerous, but real control doesn't have to prove itself. The truth is, the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your fucking ass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, mother.
Now and she got a standing ovation. Okay. She drug your ass, Bryan. Drug you for the filth.
Now
Okay.
that's a mic drop. She brought up. Oh baby, now that's
He said,
how you give an impact statements.
okay,
Okay,
has she been listening to the sectors
obviously,
or something?
obviously, because she had all the tea I had. Like I'm over here saying allegedly. I like that she said you would have got your ass kicked, you little scary bitch.
Yeah, right. She said, you're not special. You're a heroin addict. Get it together.
Allegedly. Baby, for filth. Okay. Oh, that was justice served to a narcissistic motherfucker because he can't, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead,
He can't
Kohberger.
say nothing.
He can't say nothing. Oh, I love it.
I think I find the words low enough to meet you where you are. But now I realize this isn't about you. It's about what you've done to me, and I need you to hear it. When you murdered my daughter, Kaylee Jade Gonzalez, you didn't just take her life, you shattered others. You attacked what you could never be, and in doing so, you left a trail of devastation far beyond that house. You stole my peace. You've altered my every waking moment, every sleepless night, the way I view the world, people, safety, trust. It's all been changed by your cruelty. I no longer recognize parts of myself. Joy is harder to find. Laughter feels foreign. The world moves forward, but I'm suspended in a place of sorrow and rage. You've taken from me something that can never be restored. The grief sits with me every day, some days quietly, and other days so loud it drowns out everything else. The emotional toll you've inflicted on me is immeasurable. I live with a constant ache, with birthdays that are now memorials, with holidays that feel hollow, with empty chairs that scream louder than words ever could. I am forever changed. But for you, as a person working on a PhD in criminal justice, you really didn't think this one through. You're not that good. In fact, you're not that good at anything. You couldn't secure a job. You couldn't get along with others. You couldn't even get a female to look in your direction. All because you are pathetic. Now you're a joke in this courtroom. I wish I could crown you with a jester hat to complete your orange jumpsuit clown look. A dead killer doesn't kill again. So while I'm disappointed the firing squad won't get to take their shots at you, I'm confident that the men in prison will have their way with you in more ways than one. You will finally get what you wanted, physical touch. Just probably not how you were expecting it. See, you haven't beat the system. You've simply entered a new one, where the rules are cruel and the consequences will never end. You are entering a place where no one will care who you are and no one will ever respect you. You will be forgotten, discarded, used, and erased. You will always be remembered as a loser, an absolute failure. And when those prison doors slam shut behind you, I hope that sound echoes in your heart for the rest of your meaningless days. I hope it reminds you of what we all already know. You're nothing. May you continue to live your life in misery. You are officially the property of the state of Idaho, where your fellow inmates are anxiously awaiting your arrival. But it's okay, because they're there to help you. Hell will be waiting. Quick message from our youngest daughter. Aubrey wanted to say, you may have received A's in high school and college, but you're going to be getting big D's in prison.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh. Oh. All right.
Look, he looked excited about that part.
He did. He got a little like, hey.
Yes. Next would be Shannon Gray, the Gonzalez family attorney. He'll be reading statements from Kaylee Gonzalez's grandmothers.
Oh.
Morning, Your Honor. Shannon Gray, the attorney for the Gonzalez family. I actually have 3 statements, one from her aunt and 2 from her grandparents. This is from her aunt, Tammy Butts. You in the cloak of darkness made a decision to turn our whole family's world upside down forever. You in the cloak of darkness took our Kaylee J. Gonzalez away from us all without hesitation. Never have you shown any remorse or regret. We just get creepy, non-expressive stares as you have your team of women defend you. Kaylee was a strong, kind, fun-loving, caring person, and she will greatly be missed by all her family and friends for the rest of our lives. She had goals in life that you took from her and us. We lose on watching her enjoying her life, working hard and building the future she wanted. She was ready to start that after college life. You in the cloak of darkness took it all away. You left us without her future wedding, her future children that she would have added to our family. No more talking to her on the phone, going for a coffee, celebrating holidays. It's all gone. You in the cloak of darkness gave each and every one of Kaylee's family members their own lifetime sentence. You in the cloak of darkness also took our Maddie Mae from all of us. She was so genuine, caring, polite. She was part of our family. You came in, harmed our children that were younger women than you in their own beds. You're nothing, you're a coward. It's not right that you have received life. I pray that you meet your end in the cloak of darkness, burn in hell. I have two other statements, Your Honor. This is Linda Lucan's statement. This is Kaylee's grandmother. I really don't know how to address something so inhumane, but I will try. Nothing in the past 2.5 years has made any sense. All I get is you cowardly went into a home at night, filled with what I'm sure you thought was all sleeping girls, and went on a vicious killing spree for no other reason but to appease your demonic urges. You took my granddaughter Kaylee from us, plus 3 other beautiful lives. You took my granddaughter Kaylee, beautiful, sweet-souled, doll-faced Kaylee, who was getting ready to start her amazing life, who had such a bright future, who was loved by so many, who you were so envious of. She had a life you could never have. You are so beyond human. You're definitely a demon from hell. I truly wish your punishment would be the same death you inflicted on our kids. But I think you will meet some new friends in prison who will be there just to help you. Thumbs up. And I have one last statement, Your Honor.
Not the thumbs up emoji.
This is from Cheryl Gonzalez, Kaylee's other grandmother. John 1:5 says, light shines in the darkness, and the darkness overcomes it not. Somewhere in your life, some jealousy, envy, ego, something went dark. It pushed out all light until you became dark and evil. And when you saw my granddaughter and her friends, their light, because they have such a light, you couldn't stand it. Because the darkness in you could not stand the light in them. And so you decided to destroy it. Cowardly, you walked into their rooms in the dark and took their lives, hoping to get rid of your darkness. But you didn't. You failed. Because you know what was once a light shown only to their friends, families, and loved ones is now all over the world. Everyone sees it. Their smile, their beauty, their plans, everything they were and had. And you think you put a close to it, even that, but you didn't. Because they still exist. They are still light. They are still beautiful. You can never take that away. They will always be in the light of all eternity. And you will be in the darkness because you could not overcome it. You failed. I want you to be gone, more than gone. I want you to be cast out. Cast out from my life, from my family, from this earth. I will not allow your hatred to penetrate into my own soul. You do not get that power. You are evil, and in the end, evil is eradicated. You didn't take Kaylee's light, you spread it into the world. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You know, I know it's
If the are you moving to a different?
I know it's a thing to, like your people in prison will be waiting for you. They're going to be waiting for you. But do we fail to realize that the people that are in prison have committed the same, if not more, heinous crimes than he has? So he's going home. Okay, Nature Boy Caesar, home. He's going home with like-minded individuals. Um, I I really don't foresee. He may get into some types of issues in prison, but I don't really foresee him being attacked for the crimes he committed.
But it sounds like they already got a hit in there. So
That's what it sounds like. Like they done put the word out. You feel me? And so that's all they've been talking about.
Again, and this is they're voicing their frustrations, right? They're voicing I mean, because it went from going to be firing squad possibility to you get nothing and taxpayers get to feed you for the rest of your life. Like,
yeah,
it's like some of the parents said, or some of the impact statements said, at least we know other people are safe. At least we know you're contained, right? And we can we have the space to grieve without the ongoing process of your fuckery, sir. Okay.
Right.
So, I mean, if they're wishing ill upon him, and I mean, I see both sides. Where some are like, just let us grieve. There's, you know what I mean? Nothing's going to make it better. And there's some people that are like, we demand fucking justice. Eye for an eye in this motherfucker. And karma's a real thing. And you got yours coming, buddy. So I get it. Yes, prison. But I mean, I kind of hope, it puts a little fear. I don't think it would. He looks very stone cold, very.
Yeah.
But I hope that a little flicker of something, or maybe he would enjoy that. Like, it looked like he was smiling when he was talking about Big D. Like, yeah.
Right.
So maybe he's hoping to go out that way, and he like invites it. Maybe he's going to be one of those weird Fight Club people, like a true psycho. I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe, after today, we'll have a news headline that says Bryan Kohberger has hung himself in his prison cell. Okay.
Yeah.
There's that possibility too. But it's just the way that he keeps smirking, and anytime they bring up how it makes them feel or what it has done to them, you instantly start seeing this smirk form on his face.
Yes.
And it's like, so it's almost like, okay, he is so sick that it's almost to the point to where he doesn't need impact statements because he's that sick.
I was thinking that, God, Mama, I was thinking he shouldn't be allowed to hear this. However, that's not fair to the victims that want to, address him. But because he's getting off to it. And it makes me want to beat his ass.
Yeah,
like, get off to this motherfucker. Oh, you like that? Cool. Let's fucking rumble, you sick bitch. But I like the way the sister came in, because that's just what it is. Okay. I don't know if she was big sis or little sis, but sis is a G. Okay.
Right.
I like the way she said she wanted to know the details. What were your thoughts? Come on, sit down, break it down for us, Bryan. What was popping with you that day? Okay.
Right. Did you really think you were that smart enough? Like, really?
Oh, goofy.
You thought your little master's degree was going to get you off the hook? She said, you're a heroin addict, sir, who gets high and stalks women. Sir, you're not special. Okay. You're pretty average. That shit had me over here floored. Okay.
Because it was test from 2010, girl, off some website.
I was over here on the floor.
I know that one stung a little. Oh,
I know it did. That because I was looking at his face the whole time, and for once he did not have no smirk on his face. He had the bitch, I'll hop over this motherfucker and split you from the rooter to the tutor. Okay, keep playing with me. You think because we in a court of law? Okay, that's the look he was giving her. Like, bitch, you next. Don't worry about it. Y'all got all this funny he's to say to me. You're next.
Okay. She said everything I know that tweaked out daddy wanted to say. No disrespect, sir.
Bless his heart. And you know what hit me hard with him, friend? Is because he has a story of a lot of fathers or a lot of parents, in a sense of he was given a child, he mishandled his opportunity with that child, and life had to basically exit him from that child. so he could get it together. And then he loses that child when he starts to develop a bond, when he gets his life together.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and he thinks, okay, we're about to start, you know, she's an adult now. I'm about to
Yeah.
do this and this. I'm prepared. I'm ready. And she's taken from him.
Yeah.
And it just ran through my mind, like, anybody listening that's not a part of their kid's life, like, I hope this is a wake up call for you.
Mm-hmm.
That you don't, tomorrow is not promised.
Mm-hmm.
Their grown up years are not promised to you.
Yes. They got
You may not
grandmas up
get
there.
chances.
Yes.
I was like, dang, I know. You can hear it in his voice how it is eating him alive. And I'm sure it is an everyday struggle for him not to relapse.
Yes. Yeah. And then OD. So prayers for him. Prayers for him. And good for him for speaking up. You know, he got a little awkward there talking about some of the people he's lost prior to his daughter. So yeah, he's definitely, you know, a little rough around the edges, but yeah, prayers for him for sure. For sure. This is a rough one. And I wasn't expecting it to be this, for me to feel this way, because I'm so team. Bryan, what you got to say? Okay.
Right.
Bryan, what do you have to say for yourself? Like around here, we do atonement. A part of your accountability is speaking on, right? Speaking up. You don't just sign a paper and slither away. No. So that's where I'm at. But again, prayers to all the family. I really am team. Look at this goofy one. This back in his alleged heroin days, y'all. This back in his alleged heroin usage days. That's when he started stalking and lurking and yeah. Thinking he was better than, that's when, yeah. He thought he was, I don't know what he thought. And look at you now. And look at you now. A mess. A clown. A clown. She called him a wannabe too. You're a wannabe. I know that's right.
She said they had the love and affection and admiration that you will never have. Never. And that's really what it is, right? He looks like a praying mantis. I'm done, Simpson. That's really what it is he's seeing something in them that he is never going to get to experience. And that's scary. That's scary to know that there are people walking around in the public with you, sharing space with you, that have been so traumatized in their life that they don't have a feeling of emotion. And the only emotion they can feel is rage or anger or jealousy.
Right.
That's terrifying to know that you can be at the store and someone has been stalking you. That's terrifying. Because they have a sick, twisted fantasy that they're living out in their head. That's why I say my
you
ass in the
got to
house.
be I like how she called him out about him coming in the midst of the night, you know, like a normal during tweaker hours. Okay. During tweaker hours. Let's keep it a buck. And you know, the girls would have kicked his ass, but you know what? He was still awfully bold about it though. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the footage of the not surveillance camera, but the neighbor's video camera security system. He drove like, I don't even know. It was like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. He was circling the block. So just, yeah, he was sloppy. He was, again, I'm with the sister. What were you thinking when you were driving? Were your palms sweaty? What were you listening to? What were you know what I mean? What did you have to drink? Was caffeine in your system? Were you, I'm a
Right.
weirdo like that though. I like the premeditated for sure. Oh, absolutely. Premeditated. Oh gosh, yes. I think they said there was like 12 different occasions that his phone had pinged in their area. I don't recall the dates, how spaced out they were or how close they were, but he had been riding around in that area just doing the most. And you're driving a creeper's car. His car was a creeper's looking car anyways. Like, Bryan, I've always said this about, I might like white people. I do, as far as my preference. However, you got to watch out for some of these white boys now. Okay, Kohbergers, the one that took his girlfriend out on a little van trip and killed her out in the middle of nowhere. Some of these Utah-bound weirdo white boys. I'm not talking about these Southern Cajun cowboy type. I'm talking about these a little too well kept. Okay, white boys. They be having these sick weirdo fetishes and deep sick desires and playing out these weirdo fantasies and shit. Like, and typically they're quote unquote either knowledgeable or educated, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's never a dummy, so to speak, an uneducated man. It's always a well-educated man who usually comes from a good stock, right? Yeah, always, never fails.
Yeah, Midwest type vibes. You know the vibes. You know the vibes.
But I haven't seen, again, like I had said earlier, I was kind of waiting for the trial to really hunker down in what evidence they had, so I really just went dark following this until, they got ready for their shindig. So I'll have to go back and try to find all of the stuff that was put out prior to him taking this plea. Because I've heard there was a 911 call.
There was several. And then did you watch the docu thing I sent you? It was on Amazon or something. I can't remember.
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, okay. Well, the parents gave a lot of details about some stuff, and then a little more details came out. But yes, the 911 calls, they explained why they were the way they were. The guy, when they had their friend come over with her boyfriend, he saw the scene, and instead of telling them what he saw, he just said they were unconscious. Because he wanted to keep them from, you know what I mean? Because they were already kind of spaced out. They were already kind of starting to hit shock. So that's why he did it the way he did. He was like, I couldn't believe, he was like, but there was no pulse. I went and checked them. I didn't want to traumatize the girls.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, and he seemed real level-headed. Again, this was one of the girls that was there left, called her friend. He showed up with the boyfriend. She showed up with her boyfriend, and he checked the house because they didn't know if the guy was still in. They didn't know what was going on. So, like a typical college girl. I mean, these kids, you guys, they were in Idaho. They didn't seem like city slickers. I don't see these girls, you know what I mean? Like, these are just podunk college kids living
19,
the American dream. Oh, I'm in a sorority. I'm not calling them like ditzy or anything, but they, at that age, you're kind of lacking survival skills, right? You're like drinking, partying. Woo, I'm with my boyfriend. Oh my gosh, drama at school today. Sisters, what are we doing next week for homecoming or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just naive to a degree. And at that age, you should. And and it's just tragic all the way around. And to think if he would have got away with it, where would we be?
Oh, we would have had another.
Would there have been another?
Absolutely. And he would have perfected it by that time, because he would have seen and he's messed up. But Bryan, apparently you don't watch Criminal Minds, okay? Because I feel like I could get away with some shit faster than any of you fools.
Adrenaline's rushing like that, and there's unexpected events that take place. You start that adrenaline pumps and it's like, I gotta go. You know what I mean? Once, yeah, he would have perfected it, right? But that first time, oh yeah, I know his
He
heart
was
rate
sloppy. Yeah. Yeah.
because the fact that there was that imprint on the seat let me know this nigga use a new. You call that a rookie? That's a rookie. You make mistakes. But again, I blame the school system. I blame the school system. I hope there wasn't no outburst or anything.
I hope he got his ass whooped. Okay.
I mean, I would love to come back with him bandaged up.
Slow.
Okay. I've got some other videos we can play. We can queue up. Hold on.
I agree, Stinson. He was just getting started. That was his test run.
Oh yeah.
And he failed miserably. But
yeah. Miserably. It's like, what? What's wrong with you, bro?
Are they?
Oh, I still have this.
Yeah.
Why does this look like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. These are some of the oh, this is just the gag order appeal things. Oh, and Trump spoke about it, guys. Did y'all hear about that? Oh, they're back. Yeah, Trump spoke about it and said, we'll pull that up later. Okay, we're back, family.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next family is the family of Xana Kernodle. And first would be Jasmine Kernodle, Xana's sister.
What do you do? Go jack off in the bathroom real quick?
That's what it looked like.
Oh, sick motherfucker.
Look at his face. Oh my God.
Just want to say thank you to everyone who's been involved in this and just for all the hard work and dedication you guys have put into this. I also want to thank everyone for the support and just my family and friends who've been around through this time. I went back and forth on whether to speak today because the truth is you don't deserve power over my feelings, my words, or me.
Thank you. In the end, I realized this moment isn't about you. It's about justice for Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, and Maddie. It's about honoring the beautiful people they were and still are in God's eyes. On November 13th, 2022, a piece of my heart was ripped away. There's no way to ever fully describe the weight of losing my sister, my best friend. No sentence or punishment will ever come close to the justice Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, and Maddie deserve. Xana was everyone's best friend. She was kind, she was funny. She was a gift to each person she was able to make an impact on. Xana was someone I turned to when I needed direction or advice. Although I am her older sister, I often found myself looking up to her. She had a radiant energy that everyone loved, and she always knew the right way to approach a problem. She knew how precious and special life was, and she truly did live every day to the fullest. Yet her story was cut short by an act of evil. I believe in a God whose justice is not bound by this courtroom. I find peace knowing that judgment ultimately belongs to Him. For your sake, I hope one day you feel the full weight of what you did. I hope you take accountability. I hope you truly experience the guilt and you surrender yourself to Jesus Christ. Because no punishment on this earth can ever compare to the isolation and pain of eternal separation from God. Xana deserved more. They all did. But I come here to say this. I am strong. I am brave. I'm a fighter, just like Xana. And you don't get to control how I move forward or what I believe. I walk with the comfort of knowing I will see my sister again.
Xana didn't get the future she deserved. She won't be the maid of honor at my wedding, the cool aunt to my future children. I'll never hear her laugh or see her light up a room ever again. But I will carry her with me for the rest of my life. I will live in her honor, fight to be the best kind of woman and someone she's proud of, to make sure the world never forgets who she was. Xana's story doesn't end with what was taken from her. It lives through the love she gave, the people she touched, and the legacy our family will protect. Her light still shines, and her voice will echo louder than this pain. You didn't take that from us, and you never will.
Thank you.
I just want to say before I start, I'm Xana's dad, Jeff Kernodle. It's been a hard road down, you know, because
I think this is the dad that was upset with the prosecution. I'm not for sure.
I think
I want to thank everybody, other their families that speaking so far, spoke about things. I agree with everything they have to say. It all comes back to a lot of the same things that I've had to deal with, and we as a family have had to deal with. And that brings me, you know, basis of what I'm talking about a little bit is on my way up here, flying up here on the plane, and about halfway through the flight, this little girl is calling out for her dad, hey, dad, and then in my mind, I was kind of half asleep. It's dark on the plane. I heard Xana calling out for me like she did, you know, back when she was little, 5 years old, and those times were hard. It was chaotic, but we always had something to work toward that was in a positive direction, compared to right now, which is necessarily not as positive as that for sure. And I know I miss Xana a lot. My life's been changed, and Xana had a great impact on me, and the impact was when she was gone. I realized how important she was, and what she really did for me, influenced me, was way beyond what I ever thought. She'd call me up on the weekends, check on me, see who's with me. She's like accountability to your youngest daughter. And that really made a big difference. It made me really think about things and what it's all about, you know. That's the things that I miss the most, is those calls on the weekends, the calls at 11 at night. What's going on? You want to meet my friend? You know, whoever she's with, a couple of her friends, I can meet them, talk to them. And she always did that. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I really miss that. And she made a big impact on me, on other people, her family. But the impact that she made is so extensive on what happened here. And it goes so far. People from everywhere in the world, you know, are following things, and Xana has made a difference in their lives. So, you know, countless people told me that they might not even know her. They never knew anything about her. It's what they see, and they just love her and say how they wish she could have been their friend. You know, could have been their friend, could hung out, and it's like, this is a blessing, you know. This is the little kid was, and definitely was a big blessing in my life, and so is Jasmine. And basically, you know, we worked hard to do the things we did, that, you know, through the times they were growing up, and through those times, I realized that I wanted both of them to graduate college, and that'd be the ultimate thing for them to do to prepare for the world. Then it came back to me. Xana didn't get to finish college. He had it all figured out, And this all just came back to me when I was there and that little girl was on the plane doing that. It's like where I was going, what I was going here for. And then I just realized and thought to myself about the wonderful life that she had and we had together. And I still get to have with Jasmine, but that's the part that really counted. It's the part that really counted is those memories. And those are what I have left, the memories with her and the ones I can make with her and the life that I can go on with now, which is what she wants. And I say that in present tense because that's what she wants, because I've been told that, I've been countless ways that she's out there and has a way to communicate, which I'm very grateful for. That goes to say that the impact of what happened to them, all 4 kids, goes so much further than just not me, the parents, the families, the community. It goes so far because a lot of kids, in the colleges, just for an example, they lock their doors now. The door wasn't locked in the back. At Penn State or wherever it was, all the colleges I know that I've heard, they all lock their doors now. So maybe the impact that it's going to make is going to help out and maybe protect some people. Having this outreach and having the influence of what these kids, what happened to these kids did, all I know is I was 7 miles away when it happened, and she wasn't feeling that good. It was 11:30, and I almost went over to Susanna's to say, and I would have been sitting right there on that couch, and you had to deal with me. So they would have had a chance, and I regret that, and I regret not going. But the reason why I didn't is because Susanna said, "Don't be drinking and driving. You got the rental car. Don't be drinking and driving." The week before that, so she was she would have been mad at me to do that. But I really wish I would have drunk and drove, because they would have had a chance, all 4 of them. At this point, I just have to go on. We're going to go on with everything and make things better in my life, because that's what it's all about. If I have closure in things, and the part that we miss is Santa, her influence, her smile, the things that she did, and we have the memories left, the great memories, and she just wants us to make more memories and not be sad or upset or shocked or taken for that, and that's what we're going to do. We just have to. That's all I got.
Thank you for your words and your courage, and bless your family.
Next, Kim Kernodle would like to address the court.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Kim Kernodle. I am Xana's aunt. I was very blessed to have her in my life, in our family. And I thought I had everything in my head, what I wanted to say, but it kind of went out. And I'm always looking for the positive thing, because evil, hate can destroy people. And that's what it started doing with our family. It created anger with our family members. And then I had to look, because Santa was everything that the media, her friends said. She was that fun, loving, high-spirited beautiful person. And I no longer get to get my nails done with her, have lunch with her. Sorry. But how I look at it now is this tragedy, this horrible tragedy on all of the 4 children has brought us closer. You united us with your actions. We're united now and we're stronger than ever. We have family and friends now that we never knew we had. And, you know, this is probably going to bother everybody, but Bryan, I'm here today to tell you I have forgiven you because I no longer could live with that hate in my heart. And for me to become a better person, I have forgiven you. And anytime you want to talk and tell me what happened, get my number. I'm here. No judgment, because I do have answers or questions that I want you to answer. And I'm here. I'll be that one that'll listen to you. Okay? Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
My name is Stratton Knodel, and I'm Xana's uncle, Jeff's brother. Sitting here today listening to the stories and feelings and feeling the pain from everybody is a pretty powerful thing. It's each time a statement was read, it sort of would tug into my center core as I felt everybody's anguish. And Xana meant a lot to us, and we loved her very much. But I started thinking about, instead of rehashing everything that everybody else has talked about, I wanted to direct it another direction toward Bryan and what he's done to his family, his parents, his siblings, his friends, his universe. He has contaminated, tainted their family name, and pretty much made a horrible, miserable thing to be ever related to him. And I know that that's what he has to live with, and that has to be his pain. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Next, Your Honor, I believe Randy Davis, stepfather to Xana Kernodle, would like to address the court.
Hi, my name's Randy, stepdad of Xana. I just feel the same way we all do. All of us are united because of something that happened. And I'm grateful to know and have met some new family because of this awful event. But this is probably the last time we're all going to be in the same room together. Let's be real. So I can say, I love you all, and I feel your pain. And just God bless us all, you know, just get through it. I had stuff wrote up. It was probably best I didn't read it out. Probably get kicked out of here. So, you know, I'll share one thing to you guys, not to you, with Xana. So I was working in North Dakota and came home, and Jazzy and Xana had taken our son Elijah and put him in a dress, makeup, and it was awful, you know. I was like, I don't know. She was funny. I told her she'd be in the movies and be somebody great one day like that. And now she is just above us as an angel with all the other beautiful kids. So let's hold that to our hearts, because this evil thing is not going to take nothing from us. You, man, I don't know what my limits are here, but I'm really struggling, dude.
I am struggling. So I want to just be out in the woods with you just so I can teach you about loss and pain. I love God. I wouldn't take your life. That's up to him. But I guarantee you, you are weak. God, I would just give a moment, man, 5 minutes out in the woods. Oh man, you're going to go to hell. I know people believe in other stuff. You're evil. There's no place for you in heaven. You took our children. You are going to suffer, man. I'm shaking because I want to reach out to you, but I hope you feel my energy, okay? Go to hell.
That's right. Happy Wednesday, Auntie. I had to see what day it was. My bad.
Next is Kara Northington, Xana's mother.
He said, I want to take you out to the woods. So, okay.
It's up to God if you survive or not.
Period. Okay. To show you what true pain and
I'm
suffering
Kara
is,
Northington.
baby.
I am Xana Kernodle's mother. This letter is to you, really. But it's for my daughter, who was murdered by you. Today I stand before you, the man who is responsible for murdering my beautiful daughter, Xana Kernodle. My daughter was beautiful both inside and out. She possessed love for those around her and had a light so bright it will live on forever in our hearts. She brought joy and laughter to her friends, her family, and anyone in her presence. Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, now has her in his loving arms in heaven, where she can never be harmed ever again for eternity. Because of her, I came to know my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Because of her, many will come to Christ. It is Christ who lives in me that has given me the strength to forgive you. It was of no power of my own. In return, the Lord has filled me with joy, hope, and peace that surpasses all understanding. Jesus has allowed me to forgive you for murdering my daughter without you even being sorry or asking for this. This is only possible because he who lives in me is greater than any evil in this world. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I do not fear you or even let you rent space in my head anymore. This forgiveness has released me from any and all evil you have inflicted on me and my family. It has allowed me to let our Lord deal with you. You have accepted a deal that will prevent you from receiving the death penalty. Nothing man can do to you can ever compare to the wrath of God. Inevitably, you will stand before our Lord and will have to answer to him over the sins you have committed in murdering our children. I pray you come to the end of yourself before that day. Whether you like it or not, heaven is for real and so is hell. The innocent life of Xana that you stole from myself and my family, and the destruction it has caused. I am washing my hands of you and turning you over to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, whom vengeance belongs to. In closing, I want to read a passage from the Bible, Ephesians 6, King James Version. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and then in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, that ye may be able to stand in the evil day.
Hallelujah. Okay.
I'm not going to share memories of Xana or any more of the goodness of her with you, because I do not want that to be in your head. I don't want it to be in your head. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve our good memories that we have. I do pray for you. I pray that you come to the end of yourself. I pray that before this life is over, that you ask our Lord and Savior in your heart and to forgive you. I do pray for that. But after today, I wash my hands of you, and you are no longer a thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Okay. I know that's right. She said Jesus was the only. Baby, I'm about to cry. Hold on, I gotta mute.
I don't believe the state has any other victim impact statements.
Okay. Right, state can argue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just as a housekeeping matter to start, there will be the issue of restitution. That is, the documentation is being gathered, and we ask the court would defer that for 30 days so we can present it in an orderly, sure it's comprehensive for everyone.
Any objection to leaving restitution open in 60 days? All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think it's necessary and appropriate to share for everyone here, including the court, the background that brings us in front of Your Honor today for these proceedings. As the record reflects, and as everybody in this courtroom knows, the defendant has pleaded guilty to all 5 counts charged in the indictment. Under oath before Your Honor, he has admitted that the charges against him are true. He has reassured the court that he has not been coerced or threatened to make those admissions. And Your Honor did an extraordinary job in taking the pleas back on July 2nd. We appreciate the court's discipline and insight. The defendant has also waived appeal on the multitude of rulings from this court and Your Honor's predecessor in Latah County on dozens, literally dozens of motions seeking to dismiss the case, seeking to control or limit evidence, seeking to offer evidence that would not be appropriate. And we appreciate the court's consistent rulings based on the law, based on the facts. As Your Honor will recall, on June 18th, it's just really not that long ago, we appeared before this court for arguments on what became the defendant's final motions to this court. Motion where they wanted to offer evidence suggesting that other people were responsible for the defendant's actions, and the motion seeking essentially an indefinite continuance of the trial. It was readily apparent to all of us in the courtroom from Your Honor's comments that those motions were not going to be granted. So we returned to Moscow and continued with what we had been working on for months in preparation for trial. We had no qualms about going to trial if trial was what was necessary and appropriate. The following week, after we were in court, we were approached by the defense with an inquiry about a possible plea. And I can tell the court this is the first suggestion ever that there was any consideration, because indeed, the defense had maintained from the beginning that Mr. Kohberger, the defendant, was factually innocent. It's clear that the reality of the evidence and the case that had been investigated and prepared and that we were ready to present in court became a reality. Our reaction, among other things, was to reach out to all the families. And in fact, later that week, on Thursday and Friday of that last week of June, we met with representatives by teams, virtual meetings, with representatives of all the families. And we talked about the status of the case and the upcoming trial and things that related to the trial. And we also let them know that there had been an inquiry about whether there might be an offer for a plea. And we asked the family members for their thoughts and feelings. And they were candid. And they have been candid since, and we respect that. And we understand, recognize, and acknowledge that there was a difference of opinion among representatives of the different families. We understand that. One of the challenges of this case, one of the unique things about this case is we have multiple victims, each unique unto themselves, their families and friends unique unto themselves, and all of them entitled to their opinions, all of them entitled to their thoughts. Over the following weekend, our prosecution team, very skilled attorneys who were personally as well as professionally deeply invested in this case, met. And we talked, and the decision was reached. Well, to start with, were there to be any sort of plea offer or discussion, there's only one possibility. And that would be for the defendant to plead guilty straight up to all charges. There would be no bargaining about counts. There would be no bargaining about reduced sentences. And so we made the proposal to the defense that if the defendant was willing to plead guilty up front to all 5 counts as charged and waive appeal of the court's myriad decisions during the past 2.5+ years on all of these motions that would have consumed years, if not decades, of time in the future. By the end of the weekend, we were notified the defendant was prepared to plead guilty as charged and factually acknowledge his responsibility in court for these horrible crimes. Obviously, those discussions and negotiations were confidential. And as Your Honor noted, I believe that was necessarily so, because if the defendant had decided not to plead guilty, it would have been devastating to our jury pool for there to be public information that there had been consideration by either party to a plea resolution. And protecting the prospective integrity of the trial after so many years was paramount. So, the end of the weekend came. We notified the victims' families of what had occurred. I recognize and acknowledge personally, and I respect the fact that of these fine, suffering people here, not everybody agreed with the decision we make. I accept that. It's my responsibility in the end. I recognize that that's the duty of the office that I hold. So now, it is time for the judicial system to impose final judgment and close the door on this chapter of these tragedies. As the court is aware, by the agreement of the parties, it is the state's prayer. Perhaps have the Elmo police turned on. Thank you. That on count one, the felony burglary, that the court sentenced the defendant to the maximum period of 10 years fixed in the custody of the Idaho Department of Correction. Then on count two, that the court sentenced the defendant to fixed life for the murder of Maddie Mogen. On count three, that the court sentenced the defendant to fixed life for the murder of Kaylee Gonzalez. On count four, that the court sentenced the defendant to fixed life for the murder of Xana Kernodle. On count five, that the court sentenced the defendant to fixed life for the murder of Ethan Chapin. And the state further prays that these sentences be ordered to run consecutively, back to back, not at the same time, to recognize and respect the unique individuality of each of these beautiful young people whose lives were taken brutally and for no reason. And hopefully now, as we have heard earlier this morning, it is time to afford the families and the friends and the community and the state of Idaho and the nation and the world to move forward. We can't undo, and we can never undo, the horror of what occurred on the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022 at 1122 King Street in Moscow, Idaho. For a long time, the presiding district judge in Latah County was John Stegner, who eventually became a member and a justice of the Idaho Supreme Court. And Justice Stegner often observed that even God cannot change the past. But everyone in this room has the ability to take themselves forward. And we want the judicial system to afford them the opportunity today to do that. From today forward, our memories should be focused on these innocent victims whose lives were taken, on their families, on their friends, on the community. The court has heard discussion, talk today, reminiscences today about a special family that our victims shared, not just their natural, legal, and biological families, not just their university family within their sororities, for example. but this family. This is the picture taken on November 12th, 2022, of the special family of 1122 King Road. And you can see all 6 of these dynamic, vibrant, loving, special, innocent faces taken together just across the street from their residence. And barely 12 hours before 4 of them would be brutally murdered in their sleep. They've been described consistently as being bright, caring, vivacious, with futures we can only imagine now. But they were, and they remain, a special family that I think we should all recognize and appreciate. So it's time to move forward. There have been a number of statements directed specifically at the defendant today. I have one last thought. After Your Honor imposes judgment and sentences the defendant to spend the rest of his life in prison, in other words, sentence the defendant to die in prison, he's going to stand up in the belly chains and leg irons that he's wearing today, and he's going to be escorted into the custody of the Idaho Department of Correction. And the door will close behind him forever. That is the closure that we seek, that all of these people, these loving friends and family deserve, so that we can move forward. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I have never seen a state's attorney cry like that.
I know.
Wow.
I wonder if the judge said any.
I don't know. Hey, 504. Hey,
Right, does the
Shree.
defense have evidence to present today? All right. Does defense wish to make argument today? All right, Mr. Kohberger, you have an opportunity to make a statement if you wish to. I take it you are declining.
I respectfully decline.
Well,
Don't get shy now, Kohberger.
please. All right, let me start this morning by acknowledging and thanking those that have come here today in support of their loved ones. And I appreciate your courage and your strength. And I hope that you are able to move on as best as possible. Thank counsel for the professionalism that they've exhibited throughout this case. It's been my great honor to preside in this case and to help bring, to the extent possible, some resolution and hopefully justice to this case. During the quiet morning hours of November 13, 2022, a faceless coward breached the tranquility of 6 beautiful young people and senselessly slaughtered them, 4 of them. Who committed this unspeakable evil was unknown for several weeks, but due to the killer's incompetence and outstanding police work by numerous local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, the person that slithered through that sliding glass door at 1122 King Road now stands before the world and this court unmasked. This unfathomable and senseless act of evil has caused immeasurable pain and loss. No parent should ever have to bury their child. This is the greatest tragedy that can be inflicted upon a person. Parents who took their children to college in a truck filled with moving boxes had to bring them home in hearses lined with coffins. The loss this killer inflicted was not just the death of these people's children, siblings, grandchildren, as we've heard today. It has ripped a hole in their soul, destroying a special part of their very essence. Any person who is a parent defines themselves foremost as such. It is their existence and purpose of being. And it has been stolen from these parents. None of us have experienced the loss these victims have in the unspeakable way that they have. And therefore, none of us can, nor should we, question the way in which they have handled their loss. Whether that be in private mourning, removed as far as possible from this media circus, or in front of a camera demanding retribution with the loudest megaphone. I've listened intently to the stories and pain that have been shared today, with great awe at the courage and resilience of the surviving family members of those wonderful children. I've listened also to the surviving roommates, both in person and through their friends. And I can't think of how, frankly, courageous they have been despite the hell that they have faced by uncaring people who have come up with all kinds of crazy theories about two kids simply being kids. The parents, siblings, and other family members who have spoken today are designated as victims in our legal system. But going forward, I hope that they can shed that label, as it gives too much power to the evil that condemned them to that role. They are and should be known as survivors, fighters, and foremost as witnesses to the tremendous lives of value and unbounded promise of these four young people. But those speaking today and those who did not speak, but who carry this same burden, this same loss, now carry forward the memories of these now perpetually young people, these forever children. These survivors carry the responsibility of ensuring that the voices of these children, Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, are never forgotten, and the positive impacts that they have had on so many lives are never minimized, and that the love they shared, the light that they shined onto others is forever celebrated. As we sit here today, this case is ending, and we are now certain who committed these unspeakable acts of evil, but we don't know, and what we may never know is why. I share the desire expressed by others to understand the why. But upon reflection, it seems to me, and this is just my own opinion, that by continuing to focus on why, we continue to give Mr. Kohberger relevance. We give him agency and we give him power. The need to know what is inherently not understandable makes us dependent upon the defendant to provide us with a reason, and that gives him the spotlight, the attention, and the power he appears to crave. Yet even if I could force him to speak, which legally I cannot, how could anyone ever be assured that what he speaks is the truth? Do we really believe, after all of this, he's capable of speaking the truth or of giving up something of himself to help the very people whose lives he destroyed? Rather, I suspect the so-called reason would be dished out in enticing, self-serving, and aggrandizing untruthful bits, leaving people wanting more information, more insight, and thus enhancing even further the power he seeks to hold. Even if we could get truthful insight into his why, I suspect it would not in any way quench one's thirst for actually understanding why in the first instance. Because there is no reason for these crimes that could approach anything resembling rationality. No conceivable reason could make any sense. And in the end, the more we struggle to seek explanation for the unexplainable, the more we try to extract a reason, the more power and control we give to him. In my view, the time has now come to end Mr. Kohberger's 15 minutes of fame. It's time that he be consigned to the ignominy and isolation of perpetual incarceration. I know there has been concern about him collaborating on books or movies or other media projects, and I truly hope that someone does not stoop to affording him this spotlight that he desires in the name of clicks, royalties, or profits. While criminal behavioralists should study him away from the spotlight in an attempt to prevent other would-be killers from acting on their worst impulses, there should be no need for that to spill over into the public eye. The great Idaho jurist Edward Lodge was known for trying to find something positive about every person he ever sentenced. And with over a half a century as a trial judge, that was a lot of people. This was often challenging, and I recall in one case he said that the best he could come up with was the defendant had good penmanship. Truth be told, I'm unable to come up with anything redeeming about Mr. Kohberger because his grotesque acts of evil have buried and hidden anything that might have been good or intrinsically human about him. His actions have made him the worst of the worst. Even in pleading guilty, he is giving nothing hinting of remorse or redemption, nothing suggesting even a recognition or understanding, let alone regret for the pain that he has caused. And therefore, I will not attempt to speak about him further, other than to simply sentence him so that he is forever removed from civilized society. And accordingly, based upon his conduct and based upon the record before this court, recognizing the standards that govern this court's sentencing decisions as set forth in State v. Toohill, I hereby sentence Mr. Kohberger as follows. On count 1, burglary, 10 years fixed, 0 years indeterminate. I also impose a fine of $50,000. Count 2, first-degree murder of Madison Mogen. I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the family of the victim. On count 3, for first-degree murder of Kaylee Gonzalez, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the victim of the family, or to the family of the victim, pardon me. On count 4, for the first-degree murder of Xana Kernodle, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the family of the victim. On count 5, for the first-degree murder of Ethan Chapin, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the family of the victim. The sentences on counts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 shall run consecutively to one another. Restitution will be left open for 60 days. Defendant will be required to submit a DNA sample and a right thumbprint impression to the Department of Corrections and comply with the DNA Database Act. I remand the defendant to the custody of the Idaho State Board of Corrections for to be imprisoned in an appropriate facility and execution of the sentence where he will remain until he dies. Though you have waived your right to appeal, you do have a right to file a notice of appeal, and any such appeal must be filed within 42 days of the date of the written judgment. which will be entered shortly hereafter. Though the appeal, you should be aware, may be deemed a violation of the plea agreement, and so I certainly suggest you discuss that with counsel if that is your desire. I ask the media and public present to allow the families to be escorted out first before they leave. Again, thank you to everyone for your stories today. I am strengthened by them, and I am encouraged by your humanity and strength. And God bless you. We're adjourned.
Baby, it was his dark-haired attorney sitting next to him smiling the whole time. The judge reading out the sentencing.
That little blonde chick, when I was watching her throughout the impact statements too. Attorneys, what do y'all have to say for yourselves? But what, I guess y'all just there for a check, okay?
And now he said, "I wish man, Bryan Kohberger, you a bitch ass Negro, okay? Because how dare you sit there for 2 hours and 50 minutes listening to people pour their hearts out, and you don't even give them a F you don't give them a ha ha, you don't give them a Jesus is coming for me, you don't give them a nothing. Nothing. Your attorneys don't even give them nothing." That, Lord.
He seemed like the type that if he was still in high school, he would have been a school shooter.
Absolutely.
That's the kind of vibes he was giving me.
A
mess, child. A mess. Well, I mean, that's it. That's all, folks. The judge has laid the gavel, and the ink is still wet, but it's been signed and sealed and delivered.
And Mr. Kohberger is about to spend the rest of his days in prison.
And why I didn't hear, the judge was like, I hear that there's rumors of documentaries and this, that. Why? I thought you could put I guess that's when you lift the gag order though. But I thought you could put, maybe he can't make profit from it or something. But
I think that's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah, he told him he can't make any money off of it, and I guess if he does, it goes straight to the family.
Okay, cool.
Kind of like how Bishop was. He can't make any money.
Yeah, but he can talk, and there's still sealed documents on this case. So I wonder about that. But again, like you said, we don't. The state was saying we don't want other people, or the judge said, do that privately.
Even the judge was crying, child. Like,
yeah. A mess, honey, a mess. Well, I don't, it is what it is. I'm just a public viewer of this nonsense, but I was, the N.A.B. side of me I needed a little more. But that's when you gotta bow out gracefully and give it to God. Okay.
And they left off. I don't know if they planned that right or the Lord planned that, but baby, they left off with the best person impact statement.
Yeah,
the best one. She was one of the better ones in a sense of really hammering down on him that it's not up to me, and I forgive you. Because that is, I'm sure for him to hear that, that's not what he wanted to hear, right? He wants to hear the pain. He wants to hear how you've messed his life, how you've messed their life up, how they're never going to be the same, how they're empty, how they're depressed. But for her to come up here and say, I never thought I would say this, but I'm grateful that you took my daughter because that gave me the opportunity to meet Jesus.
Y'all don't hear that. Y'all don't hear the depths of that one, baby.
What?
Yeah. Seriously. Oh.
She said, I hope you die before you meet God. She said, but I also hope that before you die, you ask Jesus to forgive you. Because
Mhm.
she wanted that man to have some salvation.
Mhm. That's hardcore.
Friend.
And what the state guy say? He said, look, the families, they were candid about how they felt.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I'm sure it wasn't just all, yeah, let's all get them to sign. Sure. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of emotions that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm,
Mm.
mm, mm. Well, I enjoyed this sentencing as far as hearing from the different family members.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall. Did any of Ethan's family speak? Because I thought
Mm-mm.
that was Zanny's mom that closed it out, right?
Yeah, it was Andy's mom that closed it out. I didn't see
Yeah.
Ethan's family
Mm-hmm.
uh, at all. Yeah, 504. They definitely threw the book at him. And I know a lot of people, a lot of the family was wanting the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're wanting him to get it in prison. Shoot.
yeah, yeah, for
They
sure.
hoping he gets shanked up before he even get booked up. Okay.
They hoping he get the bishop treatment, okay? As soon as you get in the hole, you shanked up.
And I don't know. I don't know how Idaho is. I don't know if there's any Aryan Nation. I mean, I don't know the Idaho. We might have to explore that. We've done the Georgia State corrections. We might need to do the Idaho State corrections to see what's going on. Period. Okay, what kind of living conditions are you in, sir? And I hope they just as bad
Or worse.
or
Okay.
worse. They had people
Mm.
dying in Fulton County, bed bugs, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I need. The
Getting
true
eaten alive.
experience, the true experience of prison.
Roll him up. Okay.
Mm. Pack them out. Ain't that what they say? Pack them out. Mm, mm, baby.
Well, this was nice. Grateful for everybody who showed up. Because we came in knowing that we would probably be speaking to ourselves today. So
Mhm.
I'm super grateful for everyone. 504 came through, Diva came through, Shree came through, Auntie came through, Stinson came through, James Layton came through, Stacy, I see Miss Stacy, I seen Reef, I see Miss Wilson. Okay. Y'all came by and said hey, and we appreciate it. Because
We
we
had
have not,
Bryan.
and Daquan
Yeah.
and Truth and Will and Roy. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. The
We
usual.
appreciated it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank y'all.
Because we have not been, I was wondering if the mic still worked. I was wondering if StreamYard still knew who we was. Okay. Because we haven't been here in a while.
Okay. Haven't been here in a while. That's okay though. I see y'all. I mean, what did Diva say? Child, it's about to get litty. Listen, I don't. Diva, come back here. I don't know if she probably ain't coming back, but Diva, I want to know. Are you dropping part 2, or are we done with binary? Okay.
Oh God.
I just want to know, because I definitely reviewed part 1. Hell, let me pull up her. Let me go to her website. I haven't seen her post anything. Let me see, divatomboyish.com. Let's go. We got
Thanks,
time.
504.
What 504 say?
She said, I'm glad y'all are back. It's real content.
Oh.
Appreciate it. And we plan on, I'm not trying to put some, but we do plan on rolling back out full force in August. But we got to give y'all some rundown on where we've been and what's going on and how we coming back and all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
We have to set some things in order first, and because the streets, even though, like sis said earlier, even though we have not been active on the YouTube, we still have been keeping our eyes and ears open. And y'all have been a mess. Okay. I'm just going to say it. Y'all have been a mess.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
A mess. Okay. We got just people running crazy, CPS cases flying around. People don't know how to take care of their kids. People don't know how to keep their clothes on when they get on the live. You know,
Baby, people getting active, bored, active.
mm-hmm.
You know. Oh, she said, "Yep, got to get these kids back in school." Ugh. Listen, back to school time is. Let's just hurry up and get that over with. I don't like the hustle and bustle and all the commotion around all this school supplies, backpacks, new shoes, blah blah blah. Oh, I am not. I don't like consumerism. But anyways,
Yeah.
yes, get all the kids back, do all that. One thing I wanted to say though, yes, Trump did bring up Bryan Kohberger. Let me pull up what he said. He spoke on it yesterday on his little Truth Social, I guess. And he said Bryan Kohberger, who was responsible in Idaho for the deaths of 4 wonderful young souls, has made a plea bargain deal in order to avoid the death penalty. These were vicious murders with so many questions left unanswered. While life imprisonment is tough, it's certainly better than receiving the death penalty. But before sentencing, I hope the judge makes Kohberger, at minimum, explain why he did these horrible murders. There's no explanation. There is no nothing. People were shocked that he was able to plea bargain, but the judge should make him explain what happened. Thank you for your attention on this matter.
Oh, he definitely wrote that. Trump, baby, you listen, you're a convicted felon. Okay, so I was hoping you would know how this works. However, the judge cannot force that man to do anything that is unlawful, unconstitutional, and illegal. Okay. Kohberger had every right to stand there and not say anything, even though it irritated everybody's soul. That is his right to.
It is.
That's his right. Just like it was your right when you got convicted to stand there and not say nothing too. Okay?
Okay.
For you to not to explain why you was doing what you was doing. But
Okay.
you know, I'm just saying. Leave it up to Trump. Okay. Leave it up to Trump. We won't have no judicial system. Okay. He gonna be standing right there talking about put him on a firing squad. Put him in jail for 10 years. Boy, sit down. Okay. Sit down. She said that's why I asked, because it made sense.
It sounded like one of the parents reached out to him.
Yep. Yep. We voted for you, Trump. Do something.
Yes, that it sounded like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me send out a tweet real quick. Let me shake down the judge real quick. Like, nigga, what? Who does that? Okay.
He thought he was really doing something too, Chad.
Not shaking down the judge the night before sentencing, baby.
So you know, okay. Speaking of the night before, so when he showed that picture, right, of all of them together, and he said that the picture was the day before.
Yeah.
Who took the picture? Yeah. Who took the picture, and was Bryan somewhere lurking in the shadows?
Probably. I don't know if he had a ping prior to that, the 4 a.m. ping, as far as his cell phone tower or whatever. So I don't know if he had a ping in that location earlier that day, that night. But again, you see Ethan's the only boy in that photo, and it was all girls. So such a weirdo. Oh, and one thing I was going to say that I haven't mentioned that I was going to right before they started the proceedings. Bryan, y'all remember when he got arrested and he asked if anybody else had been arrested with him? Because God knows
Mm-hmm.
you were saying something like, oh, you know, doesn't he watch Criminal Minds? He even went that route to even like try and throw people off. And, you know, he really thought he was going to get away with it. I think that sheath right there when he found that out, and then that DNA on the chair. And like the
Mm-hmm.
dad said, the dad was like, bro, we had camera footage of your car within hours.
Mm-hmm.
Within fucking hours. Period. And now I understand why they tore down that house, because these people, listen, they didn't want to make it a fucking shrine, a circus act. They don't want this fucking weirdo criminal to have any type of somebody drive by sending him pictures of the house. Like, you don't get that. You don't get that. What is our opinions, our thoughts on Trump going after Obama? Oh, I think we talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about this, but I mean, I'm confused. I listed several people. What I say, he need to go after. What happened to Hillary? Why is he keep going after Hillary? Was my fucking, that's my thought. That's my thought right there. Why aren't we going after Hillary? Y'all forgot about the WikiLeaks. You said she had Russians. You said, you know, the Clinton Foundation for the Haiti people is all a scam and it paid for Chelsea's wedding. I mean, let's start there. Then I even said, fuck it. Let's go. Let's really pop it off. Let's go to Bush Jr. Let's really wake it up in this motherfucker. What? Obama? If you don't get on my face, Trump, that's
And you know, I've said this before many of times. I'm not an Obama fan. I've never been an Obama fan.
Yeah, no at all. Not at all.
I have my issues with Obama. However, not like I said to you the other day when we talked about this. Not we giving Netanyahu a Nobel Peace Prize, but putting Barack Obama in prison.
Right, come on now. Come on now. I know
That's how I feel about it.
Netanyahu ain't out here skeeting. And you worried about fucking Obama. Are you fucking kidding me, Trump?
Please.
Yeah.
Like I really think the conspiracy world is saying that Trump has been body snatched. And I'm not trying to get too far off of Bryan Kohberger and his sentencing because for the replay game. But however, I don't know how I really feel about that because we've said this before we exited before presidency became an actual presidency. How, at the beginning, his first term, he was very drain the swamp, very put everybody on blast, very transparent. And then this go around, he's kind of fell back into a true politician in a sense of hiding, lying, not doing what he said he's gonna do, backpedaling and pussy popping. He's doing all of those things, and a lot of the community is like, I think he's been snatched. I think he's been programmed. I think he's been swiped.
Yeah, he's been compromised.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So, I mean, whatever. I mean, there's just, what are we doing? Well, you're saying, he is lied and tricked, but I mean, we went through Project 2025. He said he wasn't going to do any of these things, but here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. He said he didn't know nothing about no Project 2025. He didn't know nothing about it. That's funny because I think on page 400 or roundabout there, maybe 700, I can't recall, where they talk about the dismantling and then getting rid of, basically anybody who's not a loyalist. And that was my biggest hang up right there. Because if you're a loyalist to Trump, that means you're not loyal to the country. And all this secrecy, all this, I guess we're getting a little straight off. Well, we're here. But all this secrecy, and we're not opening records. There is no list. Diddy's getting off with 2 charges instead of all, because we're picking up bullshit charges as the feds. We got people just swindling money left and right. I don't know what the hell's going on with the governor in California. We got the governor in Texas doing the most. I mean, it's just a lot going on right now, y'all. Plus, we have natural disasters. We got people getting cut off benefits. It's a lot going on. That's a lot going on. So
a lot. It's so much going on that Barack Obama is the least of our worries at this point.
The least.
Because, okay, he committed treason. I'm not saying allegedly he committed treason. We've had a whole nother president since then. Okay. And the only solution to treason is death. So what are we doing? Are we gonna go after Biden because he's the closest?
Oh, baby, it's gonna be a problem in here. I wish y'all would. It's gonna be a problem, and I mean, not from me. Okay, there's a lot of people. I mean, y'all thought. Never mind. Let me hush. Y'all thought the George Floyd riots were bad. Jeez,
baby, y'all sitting around screaming black. Y'all sitting around screaming black fatigue now. Okay. Okay.
Baby, they about to act a dumb gay. I wouldn't go that route. That sounds like a treasonous move in itself. Okay.
Right.
Don't do it.
Please don't.
So a mess. Well, at least Kohberger was sentenced appropriately. I can't speak for these other silly people, but yeah. I'm sure the families are going to go home, probably drink real good. You know,
maybe. Hell, half of them sounded like they was drunk real good right now.
I can only imagine. Girl, could you imagine? Please. Please. And I thought they did real good holding themselves. They handled the courtroom with real good etiquette, even though, little slips of curse. And, I commend them for sure for that. Those families, for sure. I commend them. They held it together. I know I'd be a mess. I don't even know if I could be in attendance for that type of foolery. Okay. I don't know. Especially the media frenzy around it. You know what I mean? That's a lot. It's a lot.
It is. So the next thing we got to keep our eyes open for when it comes to trials and stuff is Luigi, right? Isn't he the guy that walked up on the CEO, United Healthcare CEO, and shot him?
Yes.
He should be rolling around here shortly if he himself doesn't take a plea. I'm not sure. Because he's kind of been hush-hush too on what's going on with that.
I think that he's also under some sealed gag. They got him together. But they're putting him on Fed time, so we're not going to get too much from him. He in federal court for this, which is ridiculous. That's crazy.
Didn't we learn with Diddy? Okay.
Yeah, we got to stop. Even federal cases need to be open. Somebody on Twitter was discussing that. Like, the government is a public entity. There is no reason y'all can fine-tooth comb my expense to the penny, and we can't do the same for y'all.
Right.
Y'all got to be tripping. I don't want to hear no more sealed. The only thing that needs to be quote-unquote classified is maybe some military stuff. You know what I mean? Some, you know what I mean? As far as our defense goes, of course, we don't need to know every damn thing. But other than that, nah, baby, this needs to be public record. File where it's downloadable.
Right.
Open to the public and yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, these are crimes people are committing, and the public has every right to know. Just because you say it's a federal crime doesn't mean that I, as a regular citizen, don't have the right to know what's going on in my country. Period. Period. Now, minors, I can understand redacting their names or changing their names, or
Yes. Yes.
witness protection victims, changing their names or redacting their names. Those
Yes.
types of things I get. I understand that because you do have to protect the people as well.
Right. Which you
However,
should.
it is also our responsibility to know.
Right. That was R. Kelly federal?
No.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't think so. Let me ask Google, but I don't
Okay.
think so.
Because he was over there on Gayle King. He was doing the most before his trial. Anyways. And then Bill Cosby. I wonder if Bill Cosby was federal. My
Yes,
thing.
R. Kelly was convicted in a federal case.
Okay.
Racketeering and violating the Mann Act, which prohibits sex trafficking across state lines. He was
Okay.
sentenced to 30 years in prison.
Mm-hmm. This is what happens when you go after a former president and then they come back. We've had 2 other presidents since then. I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
know that's right.
And what's okay. You're not going to yourself, Trump, because Barack is literally the only black president, and you're singling him out for what?
You cut off.
Can we not go? I said, can we not go to the people who are actively holding office and
Right.
and prosecute them for treason? Because I'm pretty sure there are sitting judges, sitting senators, sitting congressmen, sitting representatives that take bribes, that
Mm-hmm.
take lobbying money, that
Mm-hmm.
take backdoor deals, that barter and trade, that
Mm-hmm.
sell secrets.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we can find more than a handful of active participating government officials. Oh, cool. But no, we want to worry about Barack.
I don't. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. Have fun with that, Chunk. Have fucking fun with that. But as for me and mines, I'm gonna be over here. Okay, minding my business, talking to the Lord, trying to figure out what is wrong with y'all.
Oh gosh. A mess.
Saying my little baby prayers for y'all at night. Okay, Lord, please get these crazy individuals, get your children, get them together, because I can't deal. Thank you. Good night.
Okay. Well, y'all, thank y'all for being here. We've been here 3 hours, 20 minutes. It's 1 o'clock. It's time for me to get me some lunch, y'all.
It's lunchtime and nap time. Hallelujah.
Yeah, and quiet time. Yes. And we'll be back when we be back. We really appreciate y'all. And if anybody's on the replay gang and you've made it this far, salute. Thank y'all so much. Godmama listed y'all off. Y'all all came through. So we really appreciate that. We really do. And we'll be back with, like I said, when we're ready to.
And if y'all want us to replay gang, chat gang, whoever gang, if y'all want us to get back to our normal presentations of cuteness and videos and backgrounds and whatever, you're gonna have to donate to that StreamYard fund, baby, because it ain't cheap. Okay. So y'all gonna get a dry outro today. Amen. Y'all gonna get a 30-second countdown.
Yeah, I'm not even, I just, yeah. We love you too, 505. We love you too. All right, y'all be easy. Peace.
Toodles.